On that. And now we are officially live, going through some technical work here at Borgerhout Squirrels. Today's matchup in the Belgian First Division is a tasty one, an important one here on a Sunday afternoon in the middle of May. I am Jamie Flynn. I'm bringing to you the broadcast with my team, Joran from the WBSC, and I have Arno Verbeke alongside me. We're looking to bring you good Euro baseball here in September, and thus creating a test run for our logistical side of things here in the commentary booth. Thank you for coming in. We are sunny, windy a bit, as we normally are here at the outskirts of the Antwerp airport. Several baseball fields here, and we'll get into that as the game moves along. But today, our hosts and the host of Euro Baseball 2025's D Pool, the Borgerhout Squirrels. They are hosting the Merchtem Cats here in the First Division in Belgium. For those of you that don't know, and I'll go through the lineup here in a moment before we get to the pregame. Belgium is composed of 8 teams in the First Division, and it remains as such. Hoboken Pioneers remain undefeated, the champions of last year, 2024. They have an 11-0 record after winning yesterday. They play again today. Deurne Spartans, the runner-up last year, are at 8-1. They also played just across the airport against the Mont-Saint-Guibert Phoenix today there. And then we have the Brascat Braves and the Borgerhout Squirrels, the team that is hosting today. They are both at 7-4, fighting for third place. The coveted fourth place and the top 4 in the Belgian competition out of 8 teams. All 4 will be playing for the championship at the end of the year with the new structure implemented here in baseball and softball in Belgium. Just behind them, the Merchtem Cats, thus an important and tasty matchup today, with Merchtem at 5-6, chasing that 4th spot, needing a victory today. Mont-Saint-Guibert and the Namur Angels then are followed with 3-10 and 3-9 records respectively, and the newcomers in the First Division this year, back to 8 teams here in Belgium, are the Bren Black Rickers. Today is a test match for us here in the commentary booth, as well as for those that are watching. We're very excited to bring Euro Baseball 2025 to Borgerhout, to Belgium in September, and thus we get started with a test run today. So bear with us. We might be working through some difficulties at different times, but the most important thing is that we want to bring baseball, and more importantly European baseball and Belgian baseball, into households throughout the world, and I'm excited, very excited for this matchup today. Before we go through the starting lineups, we're going to give it a break here to make sure we check on everything and that we're ready to rock and roll. Again, you're with Jamie Flynn, Coach Flynn Belgium. I work with the U15 and U12 national teams here in Belgium for baseball, and today I have the honor of calling Game 2 this weekend between Borgerhout Squirrels and Merchtem Cats.
Sorry, you guys all about life. But it's another way of doing. Yeah, it's alright. We're certainly live. Now, yeah, it's another way of working, so I still need to find out. I need to go live to that.
Yes, here we are at Borgerhout Squirrels, hosts of Euro Baseball 2025 in the D Pool for the Belgian Red Hawks in September. But today we have a matchup in the First Division. The visiting team, to start with our lineups for today, is Import Rusty Huber, starting at shortstop for the Merchtem Cats. Batting second, playing center field, will be Owen van Drogenbroek. Batting third, the first baseman and the head coach for the Merchtem Cats is Frank Alejandro Petro Burgos. Batting fourth, doing the pitching for the Merchtem Cats, is Zach Olila. Batting fifth, the third baseman for the Cats, Robin Reyes. Batting sixth and doing the catching today, Aaron Mertz. In left field, batting seventh, Lico Bijsmans. Batting eighth, in right field, is Tom Vanderboort. And batting ninth, the second leadoff for the Merchtem Cats, the second baseman, Oliver Almanto Baroa. The Cats have 3 players on the bench this afternoon, and the lineup, as mentioned earlier, is presented by Coach Frank Pretro as we move over to the lineup for the Borgerhout Squirrels, the host team. Batting first for Borgerhout, playing second base, is Sander de Sadelier. Batting second, Playing first base, Matthias Groop. Batting third, the shortstop, Tim Verhachtert. Batting fourth, playing third, Cedric Van Demspel. Batting fifth, the center fielder, Nick Ventillo. Batting sixth, the right fielder, Tim Van Hale. The DH for today, they do have one for Borgerhout, batting in the 7 hole, is Nestor Aaron Solis Pinagrod. The 8th batter is also playing left field. That's Steph Romans. And rounding out the lineup, doing the catching for the host, Borgerhout Squirrels, Niels Imbert. This lineup is presented by Coach Yannick Gontier, who is the man who does just about everything here at Borgerhout Squirrels. As the field is being prepared in front of us, we do have the lineup still on screen for you. That way, those of you that are scoring at home can do so. Always wanting to reinforce good scorers and new scorers in the game of baseball. Very, very important for what we do here in Belgium. That being said, you will need the starting pitchers for both teams. I've given you one, but we need the second one. So, Zach Olilla is the starting pitcher for the Maritime Cats, an import who has come in and thrown 23 1/3 innings so far this season for the Maritime Cats, keeping his ERA just around 1.5 at 1.54. His strikeout to walk ratio, wow, incredible. 26 strikeouts to 2 base on balls on the season. Quite effective, quite around the zone, and thus we should see a good Borgerhout team being challenged from the get-go. On the other side of the ball, the hosts bring a pitcher from Japan over for the 2nd year in a row. He'll be starting. His sole loss this season is to the champion Hoboken Pioneers. He stands at a 3-1 record. One game kind of got his ERA out of sorts per se to start the season. When you give up 8 runs in an outing, that happens. But he's at 39 innings with a 4.15 ERA. His strikeout to walk ratio, also impressive at 39 to 11. 39 strikeouts, that is, 11 base on balls. His whip is at 1.7. Can't say if he's necessarily a ground ball pitcher or a fly ball pitcher at this moment. He has a little bit of both. However, we have seen more ground balls for him. That way, the field and the grounds crew is going to be tested here early as we head towards September and Euro Baseball 2025. Doing the umpiring today is Ken McCree behind the plates, and his partner is Andrew Machado. As mentioned, we are in Game 2 of this series this weekend. Maritime Cats being hosted by the Borgerhout Squirrels. Yesterday was a high-scoring affair of 7 innings. 15-5 was the final score in favor of the hosts. The game summary goes as this. Matthijs de Bats lowered his ERA to 5.68 in his 2nd win of the season, and the losing pitcher for Maritime Cats was Nick van de Voort, his 3rd loss on the season, moving him to 1-3 with a 6.5 ERA. Both teams scored early in the game, but Borgerhout Squirrels were off to an extremely hot start, scoring 7 and 6 in the first 2 innings. Things started to click very easy, and they coasted through 10 hits and having a clean game on the field with no errors. Maritime on the other side of the ball did punch through 5, but only scored the beginning and the end of the game. Nothing in the middle with 7 hits, and they did make 3 mistakes behind their pitchers. The top performers were Brian Otto, who went 2 for 4, scored 2 runs with 2 RBIs. Sam Boermans, who is not here today, 1 for 3, 2 runs and an RBI. Tim Verhachtert scored a run himself, 2 hits and 2 RBIs, and Nick Ventillo had a hit with 2 runs and 2 base on balls. Top performers on the Maritime side, Owen van Dulligenbroek went 3 for 4 with a run scored. Rusty Huber 2 for 4 with a run, 2 of the RBIs for the Cats. Coach Frank 1 for 3 with an RBI, and the pitcher on the mound today for the Cats here, it will be in the bottom half of the inning, Zach Olilla, scored 1 run on a 1 for 4 performance. We'll be right with you with first pitch here in Borgerhout. The other two applications?
One application, the other two.
Is it going to work on my MacBook compared to the HP that you have?
Yeah.
I am planning on getting a new computer that's a little personal, but I can try to shoot something less Apple. So we omitted our starting pitcher's name for the Borgerhout Squirrels today, who has been filling it up here so far in the pregame warm-up. Naoki Kambada from Japan, hails from Japan, and he has been solid for Borgerhout this season. We should see plenty of strikes from both teams, which of course, for those wanting to see the bat swung, that's going to be an outstanding thing to have. We have a 2-umpire crew today here as we are on the northwestern side of the airport here in Antwerp, and thus there could be some airplanes flying over at some point. We are going to work through that as a broadcast crew. But at the same time, if you hear something, that's probably what it is. Sunday, people going out, flying airplanes around. It's a beautiful sight to see it, to make it happening. And we would love to have your feedback. Today, again, is a test run. I have Arno over my shoulder, and he is very, very eager to hear anybody on the platform sending feedback, giving us feedback as we get towards first pitch here. First pitch, Borgerhout Squirrels hosting the Maritime Cats. Rusty Huber is stepping into the box. First pitch here is at 2:32 p.m. and it's a ball high. Rusty Huber we could talk about all day. If he was here, all nine batters, we still wouldn't have enough information to talk about with Rusty, but Rusty's back. 2022 his last season with the Cats as he sees a ball nice and inside, doesn't want to take the hit by pitch this time around. 2022, Rusty is back and better than ever as a hitter. He is a two-way guy, but right now he's leading his team and the league in multiple categories. Here's the 2-0 pitch. It's a curveball. So go 2-0 to the league's top hitter. To get behind 3-0 is Kambada. And there is another off-speed pitch. The get me over off-speed pitch to number 2, Rusty Huber, the shortstop. Brings count to 3-1. We do have plenty of wind today here in Borgerhout as well. And there's another off-speed 3 in a row to Rusty, and Rusty is down to first base for the Cats, a leadoff man. Cats needing a win today to stay in the hunt for the coveted top 4 spots. Rusty will steal a base, but not too much, and especially with Owen van Drogenbroek up to the plate, who was on fire yesterday, 3 for 4 at the plate. Not the lone bright spot, but a beautiful bright spot for the Cats here. Now we have a runner on first base in the top half of the first inning. Another high fastball. And here's the 1-0 delivery, but not before a pickoff to check the runner at first base. As mentioned, Rusty can run, but he's been an RBI machine and leads the league with a .533 average here in Belgium, the import out of California. Here's another ball to Van Drogenbroek. Owen is fresh back from Stuttgart Palomino tournament with a U18 under 18 national team from Belgium. And he does see his first strike in the count in courtesy of a curveball from Gambara. Owen starts in center field. His sliding glove in his back pocket, hoping to get on base for the Cats. There's the 2-1, a runner call, but Huber is not moving. He's back as Niels Imbert throws down to first base. The count is now even at 2-2. Plenty of off-speed here early from Gambara. Looking to induce a ground ball, looking to induce a strikeout here with 2 strikes and 2 balls against Owen van Drogenbroek. Here is the runner, and his ball in the dirt, and a curveball, and thus it's a great pitch to run on for Rusty Huber, and he is in with a stolen base at second base. Now we have a full count situation for Owen van Drogenbroek, and the Squirrels are needing strikes here early in Borgerhout. Infielded, shifting a little towards the middle, and there's a foul ball from Van Drogenbroek off to the right side. We have 3 cameras on set today, practicing again for Euro Baseball 2025. Yannick Gontier, the coach for Borgerhout Squirrels, is doing, well, more than he should. An outstanding job to start getting that lined up, along with guys in the dugout, such as Dave Imbert, the third base coach, and Martin Langzal from Borgerhout. Here's some early action, though. Another 3-2 pitch, and it's down, and Van Drogenbroek is going to slowly walk to first. Well, Rusty hustles down to third on what I believe will be scored a pass ball. And Owen stays on base as he was yesterday very frequently for the Cats. Now, we have our first and third situation, and the signs are coming from Coach Yannick Gontier on and near the right field side in front of the dugouts. Here's Coach Frank Pretro, formerly of Durn Spartans, has moved over to the Merktem Cats this year. A career .340 average hitter, sees strike 1 from Canberra. There's strike 2 quickly. Looks like some first and third is waking up Canberra here. Able to get into the zone now, as it goes to 0-2 against Coach Frank. Coach player role, not an easy one to fill. And Merktem has about 3 of those as this ball misses high and outside. Tried to climb the ladder against Pretro. Merktem Cats uses both of their imports, Olilla, Huber, and then also Coach Frank to do the coaching for the Cats. Young team, as this ball's lifted into left, towards the center side. The two are coming together. Communication seems to be fine. It's going to be far enough, by far, to plate our first run of the ball game. And what we have now is 1-0 in the top of the first via the sacrifice fly to left center, but caught by the position 7 left fielder. Ball thrown in intelligently to second base, halting Van Drogenbroek at first. Nothing like a pitcher stepping to the plate trying to help himself out. Pitcher on pitcher duel here. Zach Olilla, dear friend of Rusty Herbert's, close to each other in the United States, close to each other for most of their time here over the years in Merktem, as Zach takes one high from Canberra. Only 1 first pitch strike out of 4 for Canberra so far. A little bit uncharacteristic on the Sunday, but he battles back here to even the count of 1-1. Beautiful setting here in Borgerhout. We have some soccer goals behind left field. They have their youth field in right field. Doesn't seem to cause much of a problem. Shorter porch in right, I think. Haven't taken my meter stick out, as another off speed comes in for a strike. And now Olilla is in the hole. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The runner on first base here. Early baseball in Borgerhout, home of the Squirrels. And that will be strike 3. A Bayou fastball from Canberra to get his first strikeout of the day. Very well done. Nice punchy to try to limit the success from Merktem Cats here in the first inning, getting their first 2 batters on base. 18 pitches so far, though, for Canberra, who does come back with strike 1 to Robin Rains. 0 for 3 yesterday with a strikeout and a walk is Robin. He's quickly in the hole, 0-1. Umpire Ken McCree seeing an inside pitch there to even the count at 1-1. So we have an important game for the middle of the standings, the 4th place spot in Belgium today in Borgerhout. There's a ball that gets past the catcher. That one should be a wild pitch in my scorebook. Gets by catcher Niels Indert, who's also been and throughout the youth national teams. Family on the staff here at Borgerhout. There's another ball thrown there to Robin Rains. As he grounds one to the right side now here, easy for the Adelaide. And the side is retired with a 4-3 putout. That is it for the top of the first inning. The Cats do score on no hits, 2 walks, and they did leave 1 runner on base. We'll be back with you shortly here in Borgerhout. We try to calm the wind down. Thanks for joining with us on this Sunday afternoon. As Coach Dave Inbert walks over towards third base, we have Martin Langzau coaching at first base. We've seen quite the command from the fastball with pitcher Zach Olilla on the mound for the Borgerhout Squirrels, featuring a changeup and a curveball as well, or a slurve if we want to call it that. Not quite a sweeper, which is sweeping the nation more recently in baseball in the United States in Major League Baseball. That pitch, now a bit of a hybrid between what was traditionally called a slider and a curveball and a slurve, and you mix all those together and you get, well, not exactly the sweeper, but something in between there. Very popular pitch. That being said, we are now to the bottom half of the first inning, and youth national team product, having 39 at-bats this season, is number 31, the second baseman, Sander Desadeleid. From Coach Frank Pretro's Cats got to be happy that they do punch in 1 run in the top half of the first, as they have a kind of a must-win game here. As Zach Olilla misses inside, 4-1 to the Adelaide. Good chatter from both teams. You can feel that there is a good atmosphere and the must-win situation for both teams here in the early part of the season as the ball misses high. 2 fastballs so far from Olilla. Left to right on your diamond for the Cats. It's third baseman Robin Rains, Rusty Huber as strike 1 comes in. Then we have Olivier Almanto Baroa and Coach Frank Pretro Sadelier, quite the contact hitter. Here is the 2-2 count now appears, even. Well done and well worked back from Olilla. The Sadelier is not a big strikeout guy, so this is an interesting pitch here. He strikes out less than 10% of the time, which is a great thing to have with your leadoff, seeing 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 pitches in an at-bat, being able to take that information back into the dugout. Something very important. It's obviously why Coach Gontier would like to have him leading off as much as possible. The 2-2 is a curveball. It's lifted into the triangle into right field between the center fielder who takes control, Van Drogenbroek. Ball is easily caught for the out and the F8. Now batting, second batter for Borgerhout Squirrels, number 23, Matthias Group playing first base. The 0-0 delivery is on the way. Starts him with an off-speed pitch, 4-1. First pitch strike so far not on a premium for the two pitchers standing on the mound. Inside fastball called by umpire Ken Mackey behind the plate. Ken McCree, excuse me. 1-1 count. And this ball hits Group on the inside, a fastball that looks to run a little to the arm side of Olilla. And thus, a hit by pitch sends Borgerhout's first runner to the bases. Stepping to the plate now for Borgerhout, it's number 55, the shortstop, Tim Verhachtert. Tim and his family, legendary people here at Borgerhout Squirrels. His father, a huge implication of baseball taking off in Belgium over the last, well, since the creation of Borgerhout Squirrels, not many men as influential as Tim does get a hold of one towards the left center gap on the first pitch for an F7, but a louder out from Tim on the first pitch, hunting it clearly, but giving Olilla a quick at-bat and a first pitch strike to the third hitter in the Borgerhout lineup for out number 2 here in the bottom half of the first inning. Bringing to the plate the cleanup hole hitter, third baseman, number 10, Cedric Van Demspel. Van Demspel, the team average leader, batting .442 coming into today through 43 at-bats in the young season. Does not like a low off-speed pitch from Olilla and takes a little bat check there, but nothing close enough to be called down at first base or even be checked. Here's a pickoff attempt, nothing doing at first base. Coach to coach, the coach-player role, very common here in Belgium, and something that's, well, me personally, not easy to do, because I did it for a number of years as well. So hats off to those guys being able to perform as this ball's fouled off to the right side at the highest level in Belgium as a coach and a player. I always felt that I could give 60-40 or 50-50 or 70-30, or maybe one day I'm 90% making the right decisions as a coach and then I'm 10% at my best as a player, and I can never quite find that way to be 100 and 100. As the pitch is now delivered, the 2-1 is now fouled back again to arrive at a 2-2 count on Van Demspel. Cedric, as I mentioned, near the top of the leaderboards for Borgerhout every year, and a sure thing at third base for the Squirrels, year in and year out. As this one is laced over the shortstop head, it is in the gap, so we're gonna get a first to third here. We're gonna try to score. It gets past the center fielder, so it'll be 2 for Cedric, and it'll be, for now, an unearned run, and back to a tie ball game as Borgerhout get their first hit of the day, courtesy of Cedric Van Demspel. contact, the thing in premium here for the Borgerhout Squirrels as they're back into a situation as we have a balk here. The American imports out of California does balk over to third. Hopefully that will not be hurting him anytime soon. Runner is now on third. That invites the pass ball. That invites the wild pitch, as we do have a conference on the mound. I think probably a question as to what happened with the balk call. I think both umpires were on the same page for that, which generally means that the balk is merited, although Rusty Huber staying around the mound and his colleague Olilla, a little bit of body language there telling me that the shortstop wasn't sure about that being a balk. Anyway, we're back with the first pitch being delivered here to Nick Vantillo. Nick playing center field for Borgerhout as he takes the ball high. Nick, one of the Belgian players that has pitched in the United States in college. He actually had some at-bats as well his first season, his freshman year at Henderson State. He wears number 35 today, and for Borgerhout, wore number 29 in the United States. As he is late on an off-speed pitch inside, backed up a little bit on Olilla, but a good enough looking pitch that Nick said, well, let's go for it, and he fouled it over into the streets. Not sure how many balls they find out in the street here at Borgerhout. For those of you on European metrics, it's about 20 meters to the fence in the streets on the right field foul side. As an inside fastball gets past Vantillo. Now we're at 16 pitches for Olilla as he goes for a strikeout pitch that's a bit low to Vantillo, works the count to 2-2. Vantillo had a 2.64 career ERA at Henderson State in his 3 years performing there between 2014 and 2016. He's turned into an outfielder and quite a solid hitter for the Borgerhout Squirrels since taking that role here in the Antwerp region, as he does lift one to left center. It looks like it's going to get down. Center fielder Van Drogenbroek is on it, makes an amazing, outstanding sliding catch in center. Andrew Machado out, but Van Drogenbroek is down next to the fence. So the out is going to be made. We will check back in with you in the top half of the second inning and let you know how Owen is feeling, but Owen his head is up, he's moving around. The entire Merchtem Cats team is out taking a look at what is one of their better youth products for the moment. Playing center field, the kid can also play in the middle of the infield. We'll actually stay on the mic here for a minute and see if we can give you more than just a visual of what's happening in left center to Owen. That way, family, friends tuning in, or anybody that is happy to not see injury wants to get a little bit of a note on that. But he is up under his own power. I'm sure happy about the catch. The team's sure happy about the catch, saving a run, saving probably a double. That ball was right up against the fence. Into his slide, ball caught, and then slid right into the fence. Kind of how you teach it, but still couldn't avoid the collision into the fence. So Owen is coming in. Coach Rusty Huber, Coach Frank Petro looking like they are feeling good about Owen Van Drogenbroek, a tough kid. Well, if we get any more information, fill you in on Owen and how he's doing, but we will allow the sounds of Borgerhout and the picturesque scenery we have here fill you for a moment here as we are in between the bottom of the first inning and the top half of the second. 25 pitches and 12 strikes for Naoki Kamabara in the top half of the first as he steps in to deliver the first pitch of the second inning. 1-1 ball game here in Borgerhout. It's another starting off-speed pitch to Aaron Mert, who's doing the catching, number 38 for the Maritime Cats. Aaron's not pitched in 2025 so far, but doing the catching, so the arm is in order. Aaron, plenty of innings and experience as he sees now a fastball for strike one to even the counts. No pitching for Aaron this year with the Cats, but doing some catching, playing in the field, hitting, being a role player, as there are many of those that are needed in baseball. Doing a great job. Formerly of Ghent and here in Borgerhout is Aaron Mert as the 1-1 pitch is on its way. It's an outside fastball. Doing the catching today, Aaron Mert. He's a fiery guy who I've seen on the mound for many years, pitching with a competitive edge to himself. Now giving himself a chance to walk here in the top half of the second inning. 3 walks for Kambara so far. As Liko Beesmans starts to the plate, he pitched yesterday a little bit. 3.1 innings, definitely the best for the Cats. Now he's doing his job in left field. Played first base also yesterday. So another guy that can play in many different spots as he takes curveball down in the dirt while blocked by Imbert behind the plate. Aaron Mert taking his lead at first base. Top half of the second, no outs. As a high fastball is delivered, looked on again by Beesmans. 2-0 count on the 7th batter in the Maritime order. Lecco takes a curveball for strike one in the count here. We're to 2-1. Well over 25 degrees here in Maritime. The Belgian people love to talk about the weather when it's not going well, and it's been an outstanding spring. As a curveball number 2, strike that is number 2, is delivered over the plate, looking again from Lecco. 2-2 count here. An important pitch in an important matchup. There's not many pitches that aren't important in a game of baseball, but especially in this one, very, very important that these two teams find a way to get a win, and of course only one's going to come out with it. The 2-2 delivery now on its way. It's a fastball, and it is a fastball blown by the 7th batter, Beesmans. 4 strikeout, number 2 on the day for Kambara. Big strikeout there. Only a double play away for Kambara to get out of the inning. .35 pitches as Tom van der Bort steps in. Has a double through 25 at-bats this season for the Maritime Cats. The 8-hole hitter playing right field. There is strike 1. A 1-1 count. Though the first pitch strikes are not there for Kambara today, he has been battling back many times with that second pitch in the at-bat coming up with a strike. .38 pitches so far for Kambara, excuse me. Aaron Mert has a short lead at first. Back to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Runner on first base, so a leadoff man aboard 2 innings in a row for the Maritime Cats. Looking for the bottom of the order to produce a little bit, find a way to take the lead back over into the Cats dugout. .2-2 on its way. It's a ground ball to the left side, and it is through. Well blocked up in left field, cut off Verhachtert, brings it in, back to his pitcher, but it's a 2-strike, 1-out hit for Tom van der Bort. ground ball through the left side. Moving now the runners to first and second base. Communication coming in the infield from Borgerhout. First baseman playing a bit in. Not in a bunt depth per se, although Almonte Borora is a speed demon on the bases for the Maritime Cats. Consistent second baseman, and he does square around to sacrifice bunt. The unique 1-out sacrifice bunt attempt. Unsuccessful this time. Roa is a second base consistent. I've seen him growing over the last few years here in Belgium. A guy that does a great job as a second baseman. For the Cats, pretty consistent there, pretty obvious choice for Coach Prieto, excuse me, as he does bunt and offer at a high one. Looked like it was a breaking ball that he thought might come back into the zone, stayed up, and did kind of make an offer at it, which puts him in the hole. 2 strikes right out of the gate here for the 9-hole hitter. You hope the 9-hole hitter is, of course, the second leadoff, as we mentioned. In this situation, he's acting kind of more of a second cleanup spot here with runners in scoring, 1 runner in scoring position. But now at an 0-2 count, he gets a curveball inside, doesn't break perfectly on the inside curveball for Cambara. And that way the count moves to 2 balls and 1 strike. Can feel the atmosphere growing here in Borgerhout as we get closer to Euro Baseball 2025. Here's a high and inside fastball, well used by Cambara. Climbs the ladder, finds his second strikeout in the inning, and his 3 in 2 innings. Bringing the danger man to the plate, who walked his first time up and had a stolen base, scored the only run for the Cats so far. Batting .533, as mentioned, coming into the game, leads the team with 24 hits and the league. As this curveball is hitting a number 25 up the middle for him. And the runner is stopped at third base. Stopped at third base by what looks like Nick van der Voort, coaching third base. Pitcher yesterday for the Cats, but Rusty Huber adds hit number 25 to his resume, and he keeps on hitting. How dangerous is this guy at the plate, the shortstop for the Cats? And those of you wondering about how the injury was to the center fielder, Owen van Drogenbroek, Owen is fine. He is in the batter's box right now with a bases loaded situation, 2 outs. You love these things for young hitters. And a good situation for the Squirrels as a defense. This ball is again laced up the middle. Is it going to be made? No, it's not. The play is not. It's looking like there's going to be action at home plate. Oh, nobody reads it. The catcher missed it. Inbert did not see it coming over the first baseman's head. Matthias Grob, and the ball skips away. Good backing up by the Japanese pitcher Cambara, but 2 runs plated for the Maritime Cats from Owen van Drogenbroek, who again continues to hit, and this time we see another first pitch taken off after by a Maritime Cats hitter here in the second inning, and this time 2 runs driven in by Owen van Drogenbroek, 2 of them. Ball's up, back up the middle. Just hitting the ball where it's pitched. Middle of the plate. Not trying to do too much with it. Driving it strong back up the middle. And now Frank Prieto stands in a first and third situation. Looks like to me that he did offer. And umpire Andrew Machado says he did go around on the high fastball for strike 1. Sacrifice fly for Coach Frank Prieto Burgos, his first time at the plate. It's not going to work this time with 2 outs. There's a steal from Van Drogenbroek and a foul, check swing foul ball right at the dugouts of the Borgerhout Squirrels on the first base side. But Van Drogenbroek was in motion, which is good for 2 reasons. Good action for us watching the game today, but Owen clearly back in form after his outstanding catch in the left center gap, where he did have a collision with the wall. Back to 0-2, and 0-2 is now 0-3. The 4th strikeout for Cambara on the afternoon, but not before 4 runs have come across the plate for the Maritime Cats. here this afternoon through 2 innings, 4 runs. And this time they did it with a couple of hits as well. 3 hits for the Cats in the top half of the second inning, plating 3 runs. Subsequently, great inning for the Cats. Difficult inning for Naoki Kambara, but it's Borgerhout back up to the plate as we will resume here. Baseball at Borgerhout Squirrels in the first division in Belgium as we prepare for Euro Baseball 2025 D-Pool. We'll be right back.
Which is awesome. Okay.
Yeah, but you can't really there with.
No, not all the time, but it's great. Sorry, perfect. Gosh, this is not going to work out.
Martin needs to buy me there.
Yeah, but the following the scoring online is not going to work out. It's too for me to get information from. It's too far behind. It's too far behind everything.
But that's.
Is it not 4-0? Or 4-4-1? Is it not 4? There were 2 runs scored on Owen. Yeah, okay. My mistake. Yeah, it's my mistake. Score. Yeah, it's correct. It's my mistake. We can go back to live. Now it's back.
49 pitches for Borgerhout starting pitcher Naoki Kambara. 3 runs, my mistake last inning. Of course, as people watching the game right here, we shouldn't be making mistakes, but baseball's a game full of mistakes. We learn from them. Here's Zach Olilla starting his 2nd inning of work for the Borgerhout Squirrels. Against the Borgerhout Squirrels, should be said. As this ball's drifted into left field. Off the bat of number 24, the right fielder, Timon Van Gil. Switch hitter for the Borgerhout Squirrels, batting left-handed against the right-hander Olilla. Starts the Squirrels off with another leadoff base runner. Plenty of those today on both sides of the ball. So now steps to the plate Nestor Aaron Benagut, number 21. Strange box score yesterday, started as the DH, but didn't have any plate appearances before getting substituted. He's 5 for 6 on the season, so not a huge sample size. But he's swinging at the first pitch, and it is ground ball to Baroa, and it's looking like it's going to be a double play. Well turned by the Keystone up the middle for the Maritime Cats. Score it. An easy 4-6-3 double play. And that is a pitcher's best friend, folks. Well turned by Almanta Baroa over to Huber, and the throw on to Coach Prieto at first base. Player coach, manager coach Prieto. That's 3 straight first pitches swung at by the Borgerhout Squirrels. And Hill lifting one into left. Benagut, the 4-6-3, and Steph Romans stepping to the plate, takes the ball outside to even the count at 1-1. Ice cream truck passing us here. Wondering if we can get some sound checks at some point. This curveball is swung on and missed by Roymans. Please feel free to help out. Arno, help us out as a studio here at Borgerhout with sound checks. Please let us know on anything. Type it in the chats. We're happy to hear that. Glad to hear people in from the Netherlands watching the game as this one is swung on and fouled softly back towards our camera on the right side behind home plates. Roymans stays alive. Romans, talked to him last week. He's been a guy that was at Durn Spartans just around the corner for a long time. He feels great here at Borgerhout. He's batting in the 8th spot today. Working hard to keep the count alive as he's fouled off 2 strikes twice. Foul balls back to the screen. Bit of a contact hitter again at the bottom of the order here for Squirrels. 5 strikeouts, 5 walks on the year at the plate for KBBSF-FRBBS. This one is grounded up the middle to the all but perfect Rusty Huber. He's very close though. And that is as easy as you ride up 6-3 out. Rusty, again, don't want to hit the ball anywhere near him. I think though center field and left field are also his territory as a shortstop. And that retires the side for pitcher Zach Olilla, who's now over 20 pitches. But an effective inning as they go 1-2-3. The pitcher's best friend in the ground ball double play to the second batter. That puts us through 2 here at Borgerhout Squirrels. We'll be right back with you for the bottom half of the second inning. The first pitch of the top half of the 3rd inning from pitcher Naoki Kamibara is a high fastball swung on a miss by his counterpart, Zach Olilla. Before we see a spiked fastball on the ground to even the count at 1-1. Thank you for all of the feedback we're hearing from around the world. Netherlands, Atlanta, Georgia, your home couch here in Belgium. People tuning in, saying that things are being well heard. There's some wins. Yes, we know that. We're happy to find solutions. We like to find solutions up here in Flanders, and we'll be doing so as we get closer to September and Euro Baseball 2025. Olilla swings on and misses and offers at 1 in the dirt. Bringing the count to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Pitcher on pitcher action here. As Olilla tries to bring Merchtem Cats to 3 for 3 as far as leadoff batters reaching in this early ball game. And it is. It's going to be at least a double down the left field line for Olilla, the pitcher. He's running it as professionally as possible. His little celebration on second base. I'm going to have to get some research on what that's about, shaking his hands there. But clearly happy to help himself out with a double. Well ran, well hit, past the ever so constant Van Denspel at third base, but nothing doing. A tough hop right to the right of the bag there at third base. It's the 4th hit for the Cats today. Robin Rey steps up to the plate now, formerly Mortsel, or now as they're known, Kantencrode Stars. Just a little bit further than Dern Spartans across the airport here in Antwerp is situated Mortsel and now Kantencrode. Host of the 2021 Euro Baseball Under-12 European Championship. Had the pleasure of taking over the Belgian youth national team at that time with my outstanding coaching staff full of Red Hawks, full of French-speaking coaches that are doing an amazing job at this time developing youth here in Belgium. as a strike is now delivered to Robin Reyes, bringing the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. One ball and 1 strike. It is 2-1, if I'm understanding well, as we get a high fastball. Working out again the technical parts of it, I'm trying to make sure that I bring enough statistics to you and things like that so that you can enjoy the baseball game. Guys like Robin Rains playing third base today. Rains has also been all over the infield for the Cats, played some second base and shortstop at the keystone positions. And here's a curveball that is low, so it was 3 balls and 2 strikes. Trying to keep my eagle eye out there for a base on ball to Robin Reyes. Robin Reyes is able to walk there with a base on ball, bringing a first and second situation for the Cats. We had the ice cream truck passing. Seeing lots of ice cream and being asked if I want an ice cream. Wondering what we should do there. I think we're going to stay locked in with you guys here in Borgerhout as strike 1 is delivered to the catcher, Aaron Meert. Meert is maybe the better pronunciation from the Flemish side. Aaron Meert doing the catching, as we do get a runner from second towards third, but not the trail runner from first to second, but the ball is fouled back anyway, so action halted as Aaron Meert is now in the hole 0-2 directly against Kamabara. Kamabara, 3 strikeouts to go along with 4 walks and 4 hits. We're a 3-1 ball game here for the visiting team, Mertem Cats at Borgerhout Squirrels. And it's a curveball offered on and missed. First base occupied. So the ball did pop out of Niels Embert's glove behind home plate. But with less than 2 outs, the batter is retired. 2 outs now in the top half of the third inning. Leko Besmans, who did have a fastball strikeout, courtesy of the fastball, I should say, the strikeout, in his first at-bat. Fine strike 1 presented to him by Kamabara. Kamabara looks to be settling in here, as if you do look at his box scores as of recent weekends, it has been the case, but getting the pitch count up there regardless. Mertem have to be happy about that against an import, as this ball takes a wicked hop immediately. However, our second 4-6-3. The Cats this time fall victim to it, that pitcher's best friend, as Kamabara can be nothing but happy about that one. But wow, what a wicked hop it took on its first bounce. Well played at second base. Over to Tim Verachtet at short. Tim Verachtet throwing on over to first to retire the side. No runs played in the first inning. Mertem doesn't score here this afternoon in Borgerhout. They do, though, find a way to leave 1 runner left on base. We're now headed to the bottom of the 3rd inning in Borgerhout. Maybe I'm going to get an ice cream. Who knows? We'll be back with you shortly. Belgian baseball, 1st division here. Sunshine, no complaints, well umpired, well coached, and well played. See you in a moment.
I changed my mind, yeah. Why, what please? If they have flavors, if they have an Oreo, that's great. If they don't, a pistachio. That's dynamite. We're not until we're professional. Is your son playing? Yeah, he was. Lars is there watching? Yeah, he was.
We're back in Borgerhout, home of the Squirrels. Bottom half of the third. Coming at you. Another first pitch swing. Rusty Huber stretches to his right side. What an arm, what a throw, what a player. Outstanding backhand. Knew exactly how much time he had. And the throw, besides being precise, very strong from the hole. No Derek Jeter hop necessary for Rusty, although I'm sure he's capable of it in one way or the other. But Zach Olilla staying under 30 pitches here for the moment. 30 on the way here shortly. That was the 9-hitter Niels Imbert on the first pitch, grounding out to the shortstop. Pitch number 30 for Zach Olilla is a ball delivered to the leadoff batter, his second time coming up to the plate. Sander de Sadelier, the second baseman. Two balls to Sander. Pink bat today. I appreciate it. The moms appreciate it. Pink goes nice and well with red color uniforms, if I do say so myself. As Sander does get underneath it a little bit too much, and Drogenbroek played perfectly, takes one, maybe half step behind him to his left, camps underneath it, pitches a tent, gets a campfire going, and makes out number 2 here in the bottom of the third inning. For those of you curious about my ice cream quest, well, I was peer pressured into getting an ice cream. So I have vanilla or pistachio on the way, and this looks like to be a hit on the way for the Borgerhout Squirrels and their 2-hole hitter, number 23, first baseman, Matthias Grupp. Grupp has 1 home run on the year. That's not one of them, of course. That's not the one, of course, but doing a lot of DHing this season, but playing at first, a very normal position to be able to go over to as a DH. Hops on another first pitch. Squirrels ready to go on first pitch very often here today. That'll take his average up above 400. As Tim Verhachtert steps into the plate again with the pink bats. Takes a curveball fired at him for ball 1. Tim, the winner of a bat at a youth national team fundraiser. Not using that bat today. It must be some luck in this one for Tim, a legend of Borgerhout Squirrels, as we mentioned. He's also the national team's first base coach, the Red Hawks. This September, you will see Tim here at Borgerhout, at his home club, coaching for his country. And one thing we talk about with our youth national team players, and Tim does come in and work with them as well, does an outstanding job, knows how to speak well to kids, knows how to encourage them, how to push them properly in the right direction. As Tim laces one foul, just foul, around that third base bag. Tim does a great job as my ice cream delivery is here. Amazing. I got Oreo and pistachio from Jordan. Wow, what a guy. Tim Verhachtert is the important guy to be talking about, though, not the ice cream. He's the national team coach for the Red Hawks here in Belgium. This September, he will be here down first base working with our Red Hawks. And what a great guy for it. He has all of the right mentalities about learning, about playing at the high level if he's able to, but he's always said as soon as there's somebody ready to come and take his spot, he will help by pushing the next generation or the next player to be better. He has transitioned out of a normal catching role. For me, in my time here as a player and a coach against him, he did a lot of catching, and now he's kind of shored up the shortstop position for the Squirrels as he does hit a soft one to the left side. The play could be at second. It's not. Tim, not a slow runner, not a fast one, but again, Rusty Huber easily retires him with his arm at second base there. Excuse me, at shortstop for the 6-3 putout to retire the Squirrels after 1 hit in the bottom half of the third inning. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the mic, and we're going to give you guys a little break here so that I can get into my ice cream. I think I'm going to start with the Oreo and go with pistachio, but please let me know if that sounds like the wrong option for the next time. Anyway, I'm Jamie Flynn, Coach Flynn, Belgium, with our youth national teams here in Belgium, but having the honor of being able to represent our Red Hawks in September and the WBSC via the broadcasts here at Borgerhout Squirrels. Today we have Division I action in Belgium. We'll be right back.
Baseball weather.
Perfect baseball weather. Bedankt voor de ice cream.
Alsjeblieft, graag gedaan. You're welcome.
And you're here. Your boy is back soon, that ice cream.
Yeah.
Cool. Is he excited?
Yes. Next Saturday's back.
He had a Player of the Week honor or something like that.
He did a Oprah.
Happy to hear that.
I have here I have all the stuff.
I'm happy to go live.
Top of the fourth inning action here in the Belgian First Division. Borgerhout Squirrels hosting the Merchtem Cats. The 8-batter for the Cats steps to the plate, the right fielder, Tim van der Boort. He squares around a bunt. He lays down a nice one, a little too hard towards Cedric van Denspel. Good footwork at first base. The ball caught outside of the foul line. Outstanding footwork. I'm going to have to ask Matthias if he is a dancer later on, because he does a great job of moving his feet over. Right foot on the bag, in foul territory. Umpire first base, umpire Andrew Machado, locked in, making the call out at first base. Simpler bunt, hit harder towards Cedric, and Cedric does get a little help from his first baseman there. Regardless, through all that talking from me, it's a bunt out, 5-3. Here's Ollie Almanto Baroa. It's improved his fielding we talked about over the years. He did strike out again, have some trouble with the bat this season. But he does ground one up the middle, and he is lightning fast. However, it's to the right side of the second base, fielded by the second baseman. To the right side of the base and the right side of the second baseman for an easy 4-3 out, and making quick work of the Cats hitters. Came into the inning with 65. He's at 68 pitches now is Kambara, and that's real quick work to get rid of Ollie there, Almanto Baroa, for 2 outs. And now back to the leadoff man, the big guy with 18 RBIs on the season, leading the Belgian league, Rusty Huber. And he lines one right back at the pitcher, and an outstanding catch, as you can maybe hear from the supporters around. Not Rusty's hardest hit ball, but it'll be scored an L1 regardless. If it had gotten past, I would like to think that Tim Verachterth probably would have made the play. Regardless, that is our quickest inning so far. Time to get back to the ice cream, and we'll be shortly back to you with baseball here in the First Division in Belgium, as we'll head towards the bottom of the fourth inning.
Thank you. That's really great. All right. Let me check pitch counts and then I'm ready to. So.
That's number 99, Zach Olilla, starting pitcher for the Cats. Warms up here into the second inning. Into the fourth inning. The bottom half of the fourth. He's at 38 pitches, 24 of them being strikes, and Borgerhout has jumped all over his first pitches. There are upwards of 5 players who have been swinging at the first pitch delivered. so far this afternoon, and Olilla has benefited from that, especially his last inning. That was a very, very quick bottom of the third from the Squirrels, and then an even quicker one from the Cats, as this one is another first pitch, hits. I'm starting to sound like a broken record, but this one over towards the third baseman, and we have a 5-3 put out to start the bottom half of the fourth inning, the Squirrel half of the fourth inning. Robin Ray's there, making the play. That's Van Demspool, third base to third base, getting the job done. Nick Ventillo sees the ball now inside the center fielder for the Squirrels. 85.1 innings pitched in 3 college seasons for Nick Ventillo, taking control of the outfield for the Squirrels. As he swings and a miss, offers at the 1-0 changeup, I believe it was. Way ahead of it in any case. Working on also having a reader for miles per hour. We have it going, so we can continue to try to throw some stats at you guys. This one is now bounced in to get the count to 2-1 against Nick Ventillo, number 35. His brother plays up in Holland. Baseball runs in the family. Owen Ventillo, trying to be a Red Hawk this season under Coach Mark Jansa's tutelage. The Red Hawks lining up, had their first official team practice as they're at around 40 players right now in their pre-selected practice. They'll cut it down to 24 for the tournament, but they did have a practice here at Borgerhout on Wednesday. Based on the photos and my connections, it did go rather well as Nick Ventillo looks at the last 2 fastballs in the count, and that one was buried inside off the corner of the plates. 4 strike 3, the ominous K looking, and that's Olilla's first one of the ball game, bringing him to 1 walk, 1 base on ball, and 1 strikeout on the day. Switch hitter Timon Van Kel, right fielder, up now, playing primarily in the outfield. There's 1 home run on the season and an OPS just below 1,000 coming into the game. Only 7 games. Again, we're still relatively early season here in Belgium. It is starting to take shape. We're seeing a lot of the usual suspects, at least at the top and bottom of the league for the moment. Some baseball being played and some first pitches being played throughout the country today. Interesting is the home team can choose to play Saturday and Sunday 1 game, or to play a Saturday doubleheader. And several teams up here in the Antwerp region choose to play Saturday, Sunday, 1 game each. So lots of baseball. Good for the clubhouse, good for the people around. We got about, I would say, if I took a test, I would say we're upwards of 25 spectators today here at Borgerhout. Young and old, a beautiful place to be, Borgerhout Squirrels in Antwerp, as this strike is delivered to Timon Van Kel. Of a 3-1 count on the board for Zach Olillos, trying to get another clean inning, and he is going to get one. He gets a PFP, a pitcher's fielding practice, but in a game, right back at him on what I believe was an off-speed, or at least a get-me-over fastball for Timon Van Kel. On the 3-1, not what Timon, I'm sure, was looking for, but exactly what the doctor ordered for Zach Olilla. We're through 4 in Borgerhout. The score is 3-1 for the Maritime Cats on 4 hits and 1 error. Meanwhile, Borgerhout, the home team, the host of Euro Baseball 2025's Deep Hole, they have 1 run on 3 hits and remain clean again in the field. We'll be right back. Belgian Baseball, First Division, coming at you.
Coach Frank Pinto. Yes, Belgian baseball and softball for the Red Hawks and the Wildcats, respectively. Going onwards and upwards, and absolutely very exciting. Coming up this September. Be on watch for those. I will be here with our crew in September. Pick off first base. I'll be here with our crew in September. Ready to full action here in baseball 2025. I will actually be myself earlier coaching with Coach Sven Hendricks, the prod for the Wildcats. So our softball ladies are trying to improve on their nice performance.
So I think we're okay, but now we're a little bit better. We should be. So what you missed was Belgian softball Wildcats national team heading to Prague first week of September for the European Championship 2025, also presented by the WBSC. I myself will be there under coach and manager Sven Hendricks' coaching staff, along with Nikki Mertens and Riley Donovan. Owen van Drugenberg on first base, his sister, the leading home run getter as a Belgian bat last year in the first division in Belgium, also for the Martin Cats, is in the pre-selection. That's what got that conversation going, but we may have had some technical difficulties on the microphone side. So now you're back and caught up on that. And of course, European baseball will be with me here on the microphone and my crew that I'm happy to work with. Sometimes, as Arno's shaking his head left and right. No, very happy to work with them. It's been a very professional setup, although we did get the ice cream going. So we want baseball to be fun in Europe. We want baseball to be fun everywhere. Where the levels we're playing at, it's growing, it's getting better, and it's important that we bring it to you in a very fun manner. And that being said, not such a fun at bat for Coach Frank Prieto, who goes down on strikes after a bunt attempt that was missed. Here we have directly California boy and starting pitcher Zach Olua is doing catching, pitching, and outfielding for the Cats. I think his 2022 season when he was with the Cats, he was much more of a catcher, but his pitching has been outstanding thus far this season. Batting average against him low, throwing a lot of strikes, and right now he's in all of the right columns as the pitcher, but he's trying to help himself again. Hit a double earlier today. This is now his third at bat, a double. And another double you would like to think for if you're a Cat supporter, that Owen van Drugenberg will be around third base and coming home. So Lilla does get, again, a little bit late on a fastball, fouled off here to the right side. Working a 3-camera setup today, trying to prepare for Euro Baseball 2025 here in Borgerhout. And we're probably going to have the opportunity to see plenty of sun again. Thank goodness, a couple of umbrellas set up for me, and our whole staff here, our whole crew. but get some good baseball, competitive baseball here in the first division. Number 99, number 99, Zach Olilla facing his counterparts in front. Pitcher Naoki Kambara. Comes a 1-2 pitch to Olilla. And it's a high fastball. He tried to throw it by him, certainly did, but no offer from Olilla. Dear friend of Rusty Huber and also Rusty's now wife, Nicole, who are all back after several years hiatus back at Merkton Cats. They're home away from home, they say. They played down in Australia. Nicole, Rusty's girlfriend, actually played baseball a bit down in Australia with Rusty, was talking to him. And that was an awesome experience. He said maybe someday she will, at some point before they leave this year, she'll get an opportunity to play some baseball. But right now, the Cats, a very youth-based and growth-oriented club, many young arms and young players on the field. As Olilla does get a drop short strike, but again, first base occupied. It looks like a changeup there to send the starting pitcher for the Cats back to the dugout, but Van Jurgenbroek will advance to second base on the wild pitch. 2 outs here in the top half of the 5th inning. Baseball flying by here in Borgerhout. As a guy who walked last time and went 0 for 3 yesterday with another walk, Robin Raines, the third baseman, made a nice play last inning. Steps to the plate and he dribbles one towards Tim Verhachtert, and Tim does get rid of it, and it's an amazing pick off the lip of the grass from Matthias Group, who's been so far, and that's not quite a gold star play. And gold star play, for those of you that follow broadcasting and scoring, gold star is usually something that we broadcasters carry around, and we stick it next to a play, an outstanding defensive play, anytime we see one, so we can bring it back up. And I think, of course, the one that Owen Van Drogenbroek made in center field earlier in the ball game, that would be a gold star for me, for sure. This one, his first baseman come, that's one of the tougher picks I've seen in a long time. The ball was low and thrown relatively softly across his body by Tim Verhachtert. Enough in time, but the bounce must have bounced an easy meter and a half up in the air off that ground, and quick reaction from Matthias Group to retire the side and I think save a run, that's for sure, for Borgerhout Squirrels. So they're gathering at first base, the Squirrels just off the right of your camera. Some words from coach and manager Yannick Gontier, along with Coach Imbert and Coach Langzal, trying to get the bats going for the Borgerhout Squirrels, as they have 3 hits so far, but nothing doing in the last couple of innings. Warm-up pitches for Zach Olilla on the way, and we'll be back with more baseball from Borgerhout here momentarily.
Don't forget to tell me my... No changes so far.
Ja, maar ja, dat gaat over de wifi.
When you're ready, my friend.
Ja, wacht.
Borgerhout now batting in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Here in sunny, and the wind has gone away. Borgerhout, their home field. First pitch curveball delivered to Nestor Aaron Venergroth, who's now 5 for 7 on the season. Short sample size, a couple of walks. Grounded into a double play as last time. Grounds again towards Rusty Hubert, and well, not much running from Venergroth, as he does not even get to the lip of the grass before Rusty throws him out. With a frustrated running bit from Nestor there, as we see a 6-3 ground out to begin the bottom half of the 5th inning. Steph Roymans, left fielder, stepping to the plate. He's done some catching. He told me the other day he's happy to be back and doing some catching at Borgerhout. Did it in his youth. Some opportunities to get behind the dish. He's got 1 triple on the season as he's late on a fastball. a fastball, and again, Borgerhout attacking early. They're living and for the moment dying by that. Not able to get any sort of charged innings going. Borgerhout known for their bats. Here in Belgium, two beautiful cages that are going to be used, I'm assuming, by the teams coming and being hosted here in Borgerhout in September, but they're also going to be using dirt Spartans, which is very, very close. I don't know the exact amount of kilometers that it is from here, but I would say certainly less than a full kilometer away. Easy walk to get over here. Maybe even takes you longer to drive around and get through some of the smaller streets. Strike two is delivered via curveball for Willa. So Dirt Spartans will be the host of some warm-up and some batting practice action for Euro Baseball 2025. I don't know if that will be open for the public to go and see that, but I'm assuming it's possible. Not information that I have at this time, and I hope it is. I hope it is, so that young baseball fans and old can go over and watch some batting practice, some proper batting practice. Don't envy the person creating the schedule for that logistically, as we see ball to Roydens. The full count, which Zach Olula has not had any of this season in general, and his first of the day. Payoff. He's fouled down the right field. So good at bat from Roymans here, seeing runs and pitches, as that was laced back to the right side. It's fastball, excuse me. Staying alive. Some Patriots fans would probably say Cats in standard depths everywhere around. This looks like a change-up from Olo. Elected to go to the change-up. Nothing doing for the right hand for the Cats, and that's his second walk issued this afternoon. So Steph Roydens on first base, decent runner. Now brings the number 9 hitter and the catcher. Goes in there to the plate. 6-4-28 now in the season. 9 strikeouts, the leader in the clubhouse, unfortunately, in that statistic for the Squirrels. As Roymans does run it, it's a curveball, so no chance for Aaron Mertz. Sailed it to the right side of the base anyway. Rusty Hubbard coming all the way over. So Squirrels immediately on 2 pitches. Squirrels immediately on 2 pitches. Then in a position where they are having somebody ready to score. Fiddling with the microphone a little bit, so continue to send us feedback at all if possible, but we should be back to our normal standard right now. With a runner on second and a fly ball in the infield, plenty of wind, so Rusty is going to take charge, and the Cats shortstop makes the easy catch in the infield. Brings 2 outs. Niels Imbert there with it pop to the shortstop. P6 for those of you scoring. Another young batter, but the leadoff coming to the plate. As we mentioned, and it's even less now with 2 flyouts so far for him to the center fielder, but Sander de Sadelaer striking out less than 8% of the time at this moment. Works counts, as he has worked counts so far. Gets strike 1 there, though, thrown to him, but works counts, contact hitter, not much from the power department. 15 hits, 14 of those being singles so far this season through, this is now game number 12. Took something soft in the dirt for ball 1, excuse me, second pitch of the at-bats. Pitch is laced too high and too much in this wind that we have going on here in Borgerhout, to the delight of the Maritime Cats. Another F8, 3 of them on the board for Sander de Sadelaer. That's an interesting scorecard. Different spots, a little to the left center, and one right at Owen Van Drugenbroek, and then one right there, making Owen shift a little towards the right field side. So a very interesting set of 3 plays during a baseball game yesterday. Never seen it before. 3 outs at home plate in 1 inning. Never seen it. First 2 being balls past the catcher. runners trying to get home and the pitcher covering 2 in a row within a couple of pitches. And then the last one was a first and third situation where the shortstop cut the ball and threw the ball to home. And I don't think I've ever seen in any scorecard. And so for those of you baseball jockeys, baseball scorekeeping aficionados, if you have seen 3 outs made at home plate in an inning, please make sure you send that over to me personally, because it's a very interesting way to get 3 outs. Not how you want to draw it up, but 3 runs not scored and 3 outs at the plate. Naoki Kambara will come back out for his 6th inning of work here shortly, and we will take a short break. Right back with you here in Borgerhout, the host of the pool action in September for Euro Baseball 2025.
We need to put it right by Miami.
Right by now.
Did you get any comments about that?
Yeah, look, it's me, my looking, and you know,
Okay, so that's something I have to adjust with.
yeah, but really you will not
So
see
the other
that
option,
one.
I know, but the other option is I just put it down. And if it's just down, then okay, it's never going to be an issue because then I just pick it back up and it's in the same spot. We will. But that's why I want to come and go through these runs.
Yeah,
Because
of
for me,
course.
I don't have the reflex to do that anymore. To be honest. So.
Here we are in the top half of the 6th inning. A quick baseball game here in Borgerhout. Wish we could stay with you a bit longer already. So hopefully we get some more action, some loaded innings, but we do have great pitching on display for the moment. Aaron Mertz is now up to the plate, and now is in a 1-on-1 count after swinging and missing at an off-speed pitch. Aaron's 295 average before the game today. It's now in a 2-1 count. Doing the catching today, had an opportunity last inning on a breaking ball in the dirt, the hardest one for a catcher. As he swings at a breaking ball in the dirt, comes all the way here right in front of us. Arno and I could almost reach out and grab it. Picked up by the on-deck batter, Leko Biesmans, as is customary. And tossed back over to the hosts, Borgerhout Squirrels, to be reintroduced to the umpire at some point. Not if the ball is not beat up, if the laces are still intact. And this one is grounded to Tim Verhachtift. And it's a high throw, but a really, really poor bit of running from Aaron Mertz, who didn't hustle down. Didn't hustle down. Some frustration potentially from Aaron there. He kept his bat the whole way. If he had hustled down, I'm sure that Aaron would have been safe. I think I do see Ewout Vraders down at first base, coaching for the Cats, who has a little bit of an injury, but is a baseball 5 legend here already in Belgium. 3-language guy, coming and doing his job as a bench player, helping out as the first base coach. Now we're to that earlier on-deck batter, now to the plate, Leko Biesmans. Plays primarily at first base and gets some innings on the mound, but gets some time in the outfield. He's leading the team with base on balls, walks this season. Steps out on the curveball there, and the count is pushed to 2-1 against Leko. 3.1 innings yesterday for him and 1 run. That's when your team gives up at 15, that's usually the best outing from anybody on the team when you pitch 3 of those innings. 7-inning ball game yesterday. The 10-run mercy rule came into effect as Borgerhout started the game with 13 runs in the first 2 innings. So they punched 2 more in and only allowed 5. And so after 7 here in Belgium, a 10-run rule comes into effect, mercy rule, and so the game was ended early. The Cats back up here in Antwerp for game 2 this afternoon, leading so far. And a 2-2 count here to Leko Biesmans. Extra juice and an extra grunt from Naoki Kambara to try to get by with an up and elevate fastball. Now, and it is a ball. And it's now going to be walk. If I'm reading correctly, it's going to be walk number 6 for Kamabara to go along with 7 strikeouts. Only 1 and 1 on the other side for Zach Olilla. We've had a hit by pitch mixed in there, and here brings Tom Vanderbort to the plate for the Merchtem Cats as he takes a fastball high. For the moment, we're approaching 100 pitches for Naoki Kamabara, Japanese right-hander for the Borgerhout Squirrels. So we'll see how much longer his day goes as Niels Imberts throws behind. Leiko back in at first base. Well before the tag was applied. A couple of back picks there from against Lico Biesmans and also once against Owen van Tugenberg. Being thrown from Niels Imberts as a curveball is thrown in for a strike. This is where it starts to turn into a coaching duel of sorts. How does Yannick Gontier find a way to hold Merchtem here in this half inning but then produce a little bit? This ball gets away from Imberts. No chance of getting Biesmans out at second base. So a runner in scoring position for the Cats now, and a 2-2 count. So some RBI time for Vanderbort, who has a double in 25 at-bats. Mostly playing left field for the Cats. He's in right today. He is the strikeout leader for the Cats, but it was a 3-1 count and thus walks. Need to find a way to perfect our speeding up of the system for our counts, which we will work on. We'll get better at, and I will get better at as well. Trying to keep my notes in front of us. I have both teams, both lineups, little score sheets. So I'm trying to give it all to you and find a way to bring you some good baseball here from the first division. As a check on the runner on second base is made by Kamabara, with neither the second baseman or the shortstop near the base, so no throw needed, as is the rule, and there's our first plane. And the first strike to Almanto Baroa, who has a strikeout and a ground out thus far, and there's a plane, so you'll be hearing plenty of those come Euro Baseball 2025. That is no doubt, and we are going to bring you an outstanding tournament regardless. Here from the booth, strike 2 is a curveball that Almanto Baroa was not ready for. Squared around to bunt again with 1 out. Interesting tactic from the Cats coaching staff, but Baroa fast, and third baseman playing just even with the bag. Here's a foul ball on a pitch that was certainly outside to Baroa, but he'll reset and step in again with an 0-2 count. Over 100 pitches now for Naoki Kamabara, Naoki. 38 ground balls and 29 fly balls coming into the game today. Has induced both, of course, as most baseball games do this afternoon. So a little bit more inclined to see ground balls from him. And having 39 strikeouts in now 45 innings of work, as he has a curveball back up on him. Fly balls are not necessarily at a premium for him. Small scoreboard in left field, not hard to see from our perspective, but from yours, not going, as this one is really inside on Almanto Baroa. I think a little frustration from him that he didn't take it with the elbow guard on and the shin guard on. But it was an electric fastball on the inside part of the plate. And so Almanto Baroa resets here. In the top of the 6th we are, with runners on first and second base for the Merchtem Cats. And the lead go to full. We go to full. First baseman in on the cut, ready for a ground ball. The middle infield pinch, just like you teach it. And third baseman about a step and a half, 2 steps to his left, just off the corner of the base. No needed the double play on that pitch. It is strikeout number 8 for Naoki Kabara. And the big question will be, how much do you extend him outside of 100 pitches? He's now at 108 pitches to go along with his 8 strikeouts. And here's danger man Rusty Huber to the plate. Helps with softball, helps with youth at Merchtem Cats. A huge reason why a lot of imports are brought in to the country. And he chops one to the left side. It's going to be a tag play easily made by the hot corner in Cedric Van Denspel. So 3 outs for the Cats. Rusty surely fooled by an off-speed pitch there, ready to hit as he normally is. First pitch of the at-bats, but it is a 5 unassisted tag out at third base, near the base, to end the top half of the 6th inning. So that will be 109 pitches for Naoki Kabara as he goes to take a seat between the 6th and potentially the 7th inning. I'm not seeing any action on the field or in the bullpen for the Squirrels as far as the bullpen is concerned, although they could be hiding behind the trees and the fence in the bullpen doing some work. So it's very possible that they're getting somebody going, but we'll get you that as we head towards the bottom half of the 6th, and any changes, any information, any rules we can try to explain to you, we'll try to do that as we move along here at Borgerhout today, and as well into Euro Baseball 2025 this September. The D pool here in Belgium, in Borgerhout. Looking forward to it. Coming back to the bottom of the 6th shortly, I'm Jamie Flynn. Thanks for listening in.
I don't know. Yeah? Probably, yeah. Because we have all the top ones. I can check that, I can check that. It's on WBS6. Here I can do replays also. I need to learn the language.
So where's the...
Let's go, boys, let's go!
So you're ready to go live?
Go, Matin!
We are back in the bottom of the 6th as Zach Olilla continues to work. Throws a ball outside to Mateus Group, who's been solid at first base. He's 3rd in the team. At first base, he's been solid, but he's also 3rd on the team in RBIs. Has not stepped to the plate with an RBI situation thus far. Talking a little bit about Euro Baseball 2025 here, the D pool hosted by Borgerhout Squirrels here in Belgium, in the Antwerp region in Flanders, the Flemish or Dutch-speaking part of the country in the north. As Olilla does throw a strike. Belgian Redhawks staff for 2025 was created this past winter. Mark Janssen spearheading that. His son Drew, an outstanding young baseball player for Belgium, surely, in my expert opinion, and I think most expert opinions around the country will be within the selection, obviously merited nothing to do with his father being on the staff. Drew, one of the better Belgian Redhawks at this time. Will be accompanied by base coach Erwin Verspreid, very involved at Hoboken Pioneers, a longtime champions, a few years champions here. As this one's bobbled at 3rd. Couldn't quite get in a ground ball position. Could Robin Rains at 3rd base. And there should be scored an error. And Borgerhout gets a runner going here. But Erwin Verspreid, as we talked about, bench coach on coach managers Mark Jansen's staff. Coach Sven Hendricks, longtime European coach and coach here in Belgium, head coach manager of the Wildcats softball team, will coach 3rd base Tim Verachtert. We already discussed is playing in this game. Floris Denisbeck.
case shadows areas.
A little bit of action there that we missed. A pop fly by Tim Verachtert, the national team first base coach, as we were just getting in line to talk about, but dropped in the infield, out at second base. So Tim's now on first, but there's one out here in the bottom of the sixth as Van Demspel comes to the plate, the third baseman. Sees strike one. Rounding out the staff, as I mentioned, will be the physical therapist, florist, the Neesbeck, and Jorgen Van Mook will also be the office assistant for the Red Hawks. So it's Mark Janssens, Erwin Verspreid, Sven Hendricks, Tim Verachtert, Floris de Neesbeck, and Jorgen Van Mook for the Red Hawks. As this ball is way too far inside. A hit by pitch moves runners up one base, and the batter runner, of course, to first base. And now some threatening situation ahead do the Borgerhout Squirrels have. A little visit between good friends on the pitching mound, Rusty Huber and coach Frank Prieto Burgos coming encouraging Zach Olilla, who's now well into the sixth inning here of work with 71 pitches being thrown. Belgium will have the opportunity to host 4 countries, will host 4 including themselves, for the European baseball, the Euro Baseball 2025 in the D pool. And that'll be Croatia, Austria, and Hungary coming here to play baseball, European baseball that is. And it's going to be an outstanding level of baseball here. Then what happens is the winner from that tournament will extend and continue Euro baseball in the A pool up in Holland. And that's going to be an outstanding, outstanding moment for Belgian baseball to be able to have young and old supporters around the field, watching the top team play as this ball is crushed to left field. Absolutely belted. Nick Van Tillo. That's the swing that the Squirrels have been waiting for. And that's where some free bases come back to haunt you for the Melkton Cats. And the score, or the result as it is for the moment, is now switched into the favor of the home dugout at first base. 4-3 Borgerhout against the Melkton Cats. Nick Van Tillo, the home run, plating 3 with 1 out in the bottom half of the 6th inning. You can feel the energy from Squirrels is now, or the energy for the entire game is now back into the Squirrels dugouts. A 3-run home run from Van Tillo, a big one as far as this Division I matchup is concerned. Olilla trying to get right back after it, working relatively quickly, but ball 1 and ball 2. Question is, does Rusty Huber, does he find his way to the mound at some point in this 4-3 game as Olilla starts to approach 80 total pitches? Olilla has been solid. It's really one swing, and that's baseball at the highest levels, right? So finding a way to get guys on base, to grind it out, as the Squirrels have done here into the 6th inning, hasn't been particularly pretty, or liquor, as they would say here in the Dutch-speaking part of the country. So pretty or tasty for them as far as the offense is concerned, but one swing of the bat changed that. This swing of the bat from Van Gil, the right fielder, was waved out and missed as plane number 2 passes over us here at Borgerhout this afternoon. So the energy momentum shift, as we're talking about that, I use that a lot with our youth baseball, is want to keep that energy in our dugouts. And it's a little bit flat from Hoboken for the time being, as this one is smothered at first base. Good PFP from Olilla. He misses first base. He misses first base. Machado right over at the umpire down the line. Should be an error from the first baseman. We'll see what the official scoring is, but my official scoring, which is the one that counts in your ears, is that it's an error. He did get a good block on it, kind of a hockey goalie style, and Belgian field hockey, an amazing sport for Belgium as far as world success is concerned, Olympic success. He did a great job blocking it up, but then the toss was a bit high, and Olilla actually made a great play snagging it, but then didn't come back down on the base as the runner was there. That maybe was hard for you to see, so I walked you through it. And what it resulted in was Van Giel Timme, the right fielder, switch hitter, arriving to first base on an E3. Nestor Aaron Pennergoats, 5 for 8 on the year now. Pickoff is by the first baseman. There's a chance. A good throw from the coach is a tag. It's through again. A great throw from Coach Frank Prieto Burgos. And Prieto made the throw down, and Rusty, normally a very sure glove there. I think if he had caught it, we're talking about it recently between innings that replay might be an option for us at some point down the line, but I'd love to have seen the replay because I feel like Rusty was right in the right spots to make the tag. That he even got ran into, and it looks like Tim Van Giel was the player that came out worse than that, but Rusty was ready to make the tag, and the ball got through his legs and backed up by the left fielder, of course, Leko Biesmans, to limit the damage. But I think it could have turned into a failed pickoff attempt and an out on second had the catch been made by Rusty Huber. Regardless, we have a little water break. The starting pitcher, Naoki Kamabata, has his wonderful Japanese baseball culture. It's the one hustling out with a cup of water for his teammate, Tim Van Giel. Hasn't had a lot to do to help Naoki in right field today, but regardless, a teammate is a teammate, and he hustled out with some water. He's hustling back in on the right side, as well as Coach Martin Langzal back to his first base coaching box, and looks like Coach Yannick Gontier went over to check on his right fielder. Everybody's back. A couple of small bumps and bruises today here at Borgerhout Squirrels, host of 2025's edition of Euro Baseball, D-Pool in September. And today, Division I baseball in Belgium. But nobody hurts. Everybody's still in the game. No changes yet. As the batter squares around a bunt with one out. And Pennergoat is squaring the bunt there again. We've seen it now 3 times, and once from Borgerhout and twice from Merktem Cats. A bunt square with one out as Olilla comes back with a curveball for a strike. Very exciting times in Belgian baseball right now. Not only the national competition, which when teams in the top 4, especially in this Division I, are playing this competitive baseball. Very exciting times as this one's fouled to the right side. For youth softball, the U18 softball national team will be playing this summer as well in European competition. U12 will head to Holbolka in the Czech Republic the first week of July, and the third week of July, U15 baseball will head to Trieste, Italy to play baseball. Red Hawks on those staffs, coaching the youth, giving back, whether they're dads or friends of dads, giving back to kids in the Belgian league, in Belgian national teams, as this one by Pennergoats is a P3 pop out to the first baseman, Coach Frank Alejandro Prieto Burgos. 2 outs now for Olilla as he tries to get through the 6th inning. So what did I cover? I covered U18 softball, covered U12 baseball, U15 baseball for Belgium national teams. All of them, as this one's chopped to the left side. Looks to be an easy throw. It's not. It's by the first baseman, and there's obstruction there. There's an obstruction call as the run is plated for Borgerhout, so they'll go up 5-3. And we have time on the field. Time on the field. And we're going to see what happens here. Wish we could be a fly on the wall between this conversation between Andrew Machado, the first base umpire, and Ken behind the plates. But no attempt made by the runner, the batter runner, who was through first, and there was the collision, and it looks like Coach Frank Prieto Burgos is the one that came off the worst of that. But since the runner didn't make an action to take second base, under the perception of the home plate and the base umpire, is that He didn't make an action to go to second base, I'm assuming, which means the obstruction call via the action play that was pointed at by Ken McCree behind the plates, that cannot be implemented and thrown into place because, well, the runner was sitting on the base after. So although there was kind of an advantage played there. There was no action made on it, nothing doing, and so the runner remains on first. But it is a run, a 2-out run, an important run to send the game to 5-3 for the Borgerhout Squirrels, the host team for, again, I'm saying it again, Euro Baseball 25 D-Pool here in Borgerhout, and that will be in September. Belgium, the Red Hawks, that is, will be playing France a couple of times for some pre-tournament games. This one's lifted into left, and Rusty Huber goes out, and the left fielder does not take priority. Rusty makes the catch to end the sixth, but not before the damage was done via the bat of Nick Vantillo. 4 runs scored, and 3 of them from the home run by Nick Vantillo. An error adds a 4th, and the script has been flipped. 5-3 for Borgerhout Squirrels. We'll be right back to bring you the 7th inning.
Last one.
Squirrels.
Okay.
Ah, damn, man, kom aan, wat dan?
Ja, mijn kijk, hier we go.
Voor Borgerhout nog wissel. Nummer 5 eruit, 27 erin. Ja, zelfde positie.
That's the pitcher, correct? Yes. Thank you, Ken.
Ja, dat wel. Ja. Ja, inderdaad. Dat heb ik natuurlijk gewoon nog niet. Daar ga ik thuis mee moeten spelen.
Using it, and I don't think it's on the right. So when you're ready, we can go live, please.
If you want to go live, you go live. 3, 2, 1.
It is the day's end for Naoki Kambara with 110 pitches. And as was previewed, at least by myself and by what happened last Sunday for the Borgerhout Squirrels, we now have Matas Sergadas on the mound for the Borgerhout Squirrels, number 27. Sergadas came in last week after Kambara. He's got 5 innings on the year and 3 relief appearances, now his 4th. Picked up 1 win in an elite match a couple of weeks ago. He's got 6 strikeouts in the 5 innings, with a 1.8 ERA. There's his first strike of the day. A 2-1 count now against Owen van Drogenbroek, the second hitter in the lineup for the Maritime Cats, as they look to punch back after giving up a 3-run homer last inning. The wind is back. We have some wind, as is normal here. We're hoping to be a little tented in here at some points come September. Should be a lot more people here in September. Strike 2. Now we'll see a payoff pitch at 3-2. Should be a lot more people, although there's a good number of people here enjoying the sunshine, enjoying the baseball. T-shirt weather, non-Belgian weather, as we call it. Belgians love to complain when it's not great weather, but they love to profit with the good weather. So Matas Sigardas on the mound now, as he delivers an outside fastball, intelligently fouled off and well worked by Owen van Drugenbroek. Number 29, the center fielder, came into the game with the second best average of the team, which is difficult to achieve the first when Rusty Huber is, well, now he's a little under 533. But Owen van Drugenbroek, a nice take there, a high one. Walks, his second walk of the day. He came into the game batting .444. Lots of fours, all the fours. Second on team, and that's now pushed higher, and the on-base percentage and everything, with 2 walks and an RBI single on the day for Van Drugenbroek. A guy who's a .340 average hitter, lots of years with Durham Spartans around the corner. Does hit a lot of ground balls, which, you know, we don't want to commentary curse here, but hits a lot of ground balls. Leads the team in double play ground balls by a hitter. Is Coach Frank Prieto Burgos. He's second in hits, though, also on the team, and has a home run on the season. Second in RBIs, so that's top-heavy lineup for the Merchtem Cats here in the 7th inning. Kind of sacrifice, strikeouts. 4th at bat here. Sorry, 3rd at bat here. 2 strikeouts. And a sacrifice fly. 4th at bat. And that will help. That's a ball driven to right center field. Well played by the center fielder, Vantillo. Hustled around it, got it in from the right center gap. No shot for Van Drugenbroek to go first to third. Here comes the current pitcher for the Cats. Zach Olilla at 85 pitches, trying to really do something to get the Cats back into this one. As the ball kicks away from the catcher, it's going to be a pass ball all the way towards the backstop. A high fastball, certainly a missed spot by the pitcher, but something that was catchable in my eyes by Niels Imberts. Couldn't. And now that's 2 ducks on the pond. 2 RBIs available here for Zach Olilla. Could be a base on ball type situation. Zach's only batting .214 this season. It's kind of him and Rusty have switched a little bit. Zach pretty consistent on the hitting side in past years in Belgium, has struggled to get off the ground, although some RBIs, some hits. Just not many walks. Takes a curveball. Batting .214 with an OPS of 620. And Zach has done the pitching for the Cats this year. Rusty was the guy very dominant for a long time, several years for the Cats until they've come back, and now Rusty's done a little bit, but this ball's fouled hard to the left side. Rusty over there making a play off your camera, carting what looks to be himself warming up down the line, and was luckily watching the game, warming up to come in to pitch, that is. That's some action for the Merchtem Cats down the left field line for their second pitcher, looking to be Rusty Hubbard. This is a called strike 3 curveball. Olilla did not like it. Always interesting to see the pitcher hitting and then being frustrated about the strike zone. But this one for me, caught that outside upper corner, and Coach Ken Macri, umpire Ken Macri obliged on the strike 3 call, and then we have an out here as the ball's laced, and what a play by Tim Verachter. He's gonna make the out at first. What a play The run does score because the ball was dropped on the transfer at first base, says first base umpire Andrew Machado. It's going to be argued by third base coach Nick van de Voort about the transfer, but there is a run that's going to be scored regardless. So there will be a run scored on the RBI from Robin Reigns, but for the moment, and they're not going to change the call, so it's not for the moment, it's what it is. It's a 6-3 ground out, and the infield was played in there. Wasn't able to mention to you sooner, but they were played in with the tight ball game. The game's now tighter with a 4-3 score in favor of the hosts. But Tim Verachter made an outstanding nab and grabbed the baseball after its bounce. Threw a strike over to first, the low one, caught by Mateus Group. But then Mateus was looking home because the runner moved after the throw, and he dropped it on the ground, so the run was scored. No error, no nothing going on there. The run scored, the run plated. And they're going to get potentially another one here as there's a diving catch. They are not. An outstanding golden star in left field. Steph Roymans flying, diving right next to the airport to make the catch to end the 7th inning. The visiting half of the 7th inning, and that saves the tying run from scoring. Frank Alejandro Pretro Borges was coming in to score there, for sure, and at first I did not think Roymans had a beat on it. Boy, did he. An outstanding catch. We've seen 2 great outfield plays this game, and that inning alone we saw 2 nice, beautiful flashes of the letter from the Borgerhout Squirrels, the host team, showing off for those of us that are going to be following Euro Baseball 2025, getting some action with the Borgerhout Squirrels and the Maritime Cats. We'll move to the bottom half of the 7th inning in a 5-4 game here. Heated baseball game between 2 teams currently on the outside and one on the inside of the top 4 here in Belgium. We'll be right back.
Deze wissels van de richting. 1 naar 8. 8 naar 5. 5 naar 1 dan. Nee, sorry, wacht.
5 naar 6 misschien.
5 naar 6, ja.
En dan 6 naar 1.
Ja. Coach,
Ik denk dat het anders is.
ik denk het ook. Er waren eentje vergeten. 1 naar 8, 8 naar 5, 5 naar 6, 6 naar 1. Er wordt dat iets vergeten. Ja, klopt, dank u.
Some position changes here for the 7th inning, the home 7th inning. So we played Take Me Out to the ball game already. You missed it, but we are now into the bottom half of the 7th inning. And as expected, the guy warming up down the left field line for the Maritime Cats was Rusty Huber, and Rusty is assuming his role as the new pitcher for the Maritime Cats. That being said, for those of you scoring at home, following at home, position 1, the pitcher Zach Olola moves to center field. The center fielder, as we mentioned, Owen van Drugenbroek, can play everywhere on the left side of the infield, moves to third base. Robin Reigns moves to shortstop from third, and the shortstop, who was Rusty Huber, you guessed it, moves to the pitching spot. 5-4 here as Borgerhout tried to plate a few more runs against the pitcher Rusty Huber, and he comes right in, Rusty Huber, with strike 1. A 3/4 or lower 3/4 arm slot out of him. Very, very good arm does Rusty have. And we'll see if he can keep his team in the game. He gets away with a curveball or slider, I think it is, that hopped up and in on the batter. Batter is the leadoff man, Sander de Sadelier. So Olilla got through 3 orders of the Borgerhout lineup. And here's a contact, as we see very often from Sander de Sadelier, but it's as if nothing changed for the shortstop position for the Cats. An excellent routine play from Robin Reigns. 6-3 score it, 1 out in the bottom half of the 7th inning. Excellent action here in Borgerhout. A much closer game than yesterday, as to be expected with imports on the mound. Foreign pitchers, as this one's outside, delivered by Rusty Hubert. Scores from around the league. 7th inning is also the bottom half in Brascat. It's 8-1 for reigning champions Hoboken Pioneers. Ben Van Nuffel on the mound for the Hoboken Pioneers. And Nabil Taoul is the pitcher, formerly of Deurne, then turned Mont Saint-Guibert Phoenix, then turned Deurne Spartans again, and it is 14-2 across the airport for Deurne. So the rich keep getting richer at the top of the division here in Belgium, and this middle group are fighting for their top 4 place. As Rusty Huber issues his first walk of the game, a 4-pitch walk. Sure, as the competitor that he is, that he doesn't like to see an uncompetitive at-bat like that against him. That being said, Tim Verhachtert, number 55, the shortstop, up 4 doubles this season already. 365 average coming into the game. Now stands there with a runner on first, and he gets a slider. We do have a little bit of some knowledge about our pitch speed now, so it's a slider at 72 miles an hour there. Able to get you a little bit of what's going on here in the booth with that. And it's strike 2 on a fastball, and that one's at 84, so 84-72, the current mix from the right-hander Rusty Huber, who's moved now from shortstop. For those of you that went to go get your coffee or bathroom break and came back, he's now on the mound, and he strikes out Tim Verhachtert on 3 pitches after issuing a 4-pitch walk. 2 outs, bottom 7. 5-4 ball game for the team batting, the host team, the home team. The home team and the host team for Euro Baseball 2025. 4 countries in what looks like about 4 days, and some Belgium competition between the Red Hawks and France. We'll preview that here at Borgerhout Squirrels. Looping curveball of 61 from Rusty Huber is called high by home plate umpire and crew chief Ken McCree. Umpires locked in, players locked in, good baseball, love to see it. Routine pickoff check on the runner, Matthias Group at first base. Drew a 4-pitch walk. Van Denspel is up now, career hitter 340. Steady third baseman for Borgerhout Squirrels. No home runs since 2021 for Cedric. Quite the contact hitter. Having him and Sander de Sadelier in the top 4 of their batting order. The Squirrels have guys that make a lot of contact. So not your typical 4-hitter from a power standpoint. But he's got an eye for the zone as he's ahead of the count, Cedric is. 3-0. And Van Denspel is a guy that's going to be as steady as they come at third base, in the right spots, collecting cutoffs correctly, making all the routine plays. As a big airliner just landed right in front of Arno and I. And the next one's taking off. So some action at the Antwerp airport on a Sunday, not too far from Tomorrowland, big concerts, big 3-4 day concert up here. So it's Tomorrowland, very big festival of music, hosted every year. Not sure which month that is. That's where my knowledge is He's not too good about that, but Arno's tapping me on the shoulder and telling me July. So I trust him more than anybody at this moment. So we are back to a full count from Rusty Huber, and Cedric makes that contact. It's looped in the left, and it's a choice that maybe Lico Basemans will regret later because he came in diving for it with the runner on first. It got by him all the way to the wall, to the warning track and the wall. And that way, Matthias Grob is going to score on a double from Cedric Van Demspol. That's a double, his second of the game, Cedric. So your 4-hitter doing some damage, driving in a run there. Don't need home runs from if he's hitting doubles. Both of them to the left side for him. Mixed in also with a ground out and a hit by pitch. Nick Vantillo, home run hitter for today's game. Deposited one out over the retired numbers in left field, number 17 and number 12 here at Borgerhout. Looks at strike one on the outside corner from Rusty Hubert, an 83-mile-an-hour running fastball. Vantillo up for the 4th time. He's the on-base percentage leader of the team. As this one gets through up the middle, so it's opening up a little bit, and Rusty Hubert is not able to find a glove of an infielder via the bat of one of the Borgerhout batters just underneath Robin Rain's glove at shortstop. So a base hit again for Nick Vantillo. Early in the count, hitting 1 strike. Again, finding a way to get a hit there, and another RBI for Nick Vantillo. It's 4 on the day. Timon Van Gil, switch hitting outfielder, who has not had too much success at the plate today, is up against Rusty Hubert. Nick Vantillo takes off. Aaron Merritt, a good throw on line, on strike, directly at his shortstop. And again, a shortstop for the Cats not able to collect it. It's a great throw from Aaron Merritt. It would have been a bang-bang play, but it would have been an out, again, in my mind, from our angle. And unfortunately, Aaron put it right on the money, and Robin Rains was not able to collect it and make the tag. So a stolen base for Nick Vantillo. Good jump. Nick not going to be too happy with me saying it, but he's not the fastest one on the field. But he got a great jump, and that's all that counts a lot of the time. Smart player. This ball's driven to the right side, to the left side of third base. I thought it was to the right side from our angle. Your camera probably didn't lie at all. It was definitely to the left. But where I'm sitting, wow, that was a close call. Ken McCree behind the dish. Making it right, me making it wrong, and I'm okay to be wrong. I'm very happy to be wrong. That's part of our sport. Making mistakes, failing. There's still a lot of positivity that can come from that. Did he check his swing? There may be a check here. Andrew Machado says no. I agree with Andrew Machado. The barrel didn't get around. The hands went quite a bit from Timon Van Gil, but for me, it was a check swing. So Timon steps in. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Rusty Huber trying to limit the damage here. Strand Vantillo at second base. He delivers an outside fastball, running one again that moves away from the lefty Van Gil, who gets a lot of at-bats on the left side for a switch hitting outfielder. Not many lefty arms in the Belgian competition, so he gets a lot of work from the left-handed side, but does bat switch. Back to 2-2. This one is fisted to the left side and caught. Not enough oomph on that one from Van Gil. So Vantillo is stranded. Mertem are a bit stranded right now as far as run production the last couple of innings. They've eliminated the imports off the mound in the form of Japanese right-hander Naoki. Matas Sigurdas coming out for his second inning of work in relief, who's been solid for Borgerhout. We'll bring you that action as we get to the top of the 8th inning. After his warm-up pitches, we're 2 innings away from an important win for one of these teams in Belgium. Is it going to be Merchtem Cats getting and inching a little bit closer to their dream of being in the top 4? Or is it going to be Borgerhout Squirrels cementing a little bit further their case to be within the top 4 come playoff time? We'll bring that action to you here. Start of the 8th inning next.
Thank you. Where do you live in Holland? You? In Eindhoven.
Less than an hour.
So you can take a plane here next time.
Yeah, probably, yeah. It takes longer to lift off and go down, but...
We've flown for several European championships with the youth out of... Was it U15 last year? Might have been. Might have been last year, but definitely U12 too. Okay.
Top half of the 8th inning action starts with Leko Beesmans, who tried, and don't get me wrong, trying for the fly ball in left field or the line drive that Van Denspoel hits was probably the right call if you're playing aggressively, but it was a little bit too aggressive and the ball skipped by, producing a 2 base hits for Van Denspoel and an RBI, which is now cemented a 7-4 lead for Borgerhout as the count goes to 1-1 against Leko Beesmans. Left fielder so far today. Not too much success at the plate. Merktem, 5 hits in total, producing 4 runs. This one is lifted to the right side. It's going to be caught. Oh, it's going to be dropping and foul. It's dropping foul. So a little too much drifting for the ball in the air and a little bit too much drifting from Timon van Gel as he got near the line down there on the right field side, correctly called by umpire at first base, Andrew Machado. Ball landed just foul. Down there is their youth baseball under 12, under 15 field where they play out of. I'm assuming because they had a D2 game this morning that their U15 team played at 10 o'clock this morning away. I don't have that exact information, but it's vacation time in some parts of the country, but not here in Flanders for the moment. So likely their U15, which Coach Yannick Gontier and Tim Verachtig and many other players are involved with, helping out. So Leko Beesmans gets a second life here with the ball not being caught, and we're at a full count. And strike 3 on the outside corner, says Ken McCree. Rightfully so, again, from my angle back here, a ball taken on the outside half that Leko thought, oh, that's a little bit too far, and in fact, it was not. So, some words of encouragement from third baseman Cedric Van Denspoel and first baseman Matthias Grub for staying with that batter, and now there's 5 outs left for the Cats. Could be quickly 4. Sander, the Sadeleave, receives Tom van der Bort's ground ball, 4-3 scored in the book. And it's now down to 4 outs left for the Cats, needing 3 runs. Need to find a way to chip in. Now, the dangerous part for the Cats is that if Ollie can get on base here, maybe they can create something with 2 outs. Rusty Huber, Owen van Drogenbrug, those type of guys can put a ball in the gap down the lines and try to score Ollie. If not, the Cats will get their best of their best up to the plate in the 9th inning. That, along with how Borgerhout's going to hit in the bottom half of the 8th, is to be foreseen. Ball is again fouled down the right field line. Van Gel is not going to have any place. He did sprint that time getting there, realizing that the wind was not his friend during the at-bat of Leko Beesmans. Fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice. That's what Timon said down the right field line. So we're preparing Euro Baseball 2025 setup here in Borgerhout, home of the Borgerhout Squirrels with Division I baseball action. Got my whole team here alongside me. One in the dugout also for Borgerhout. Martin Langzaal will be helping us out from the Belgian Federation side. And we're very excited to work along with the WBSC and be able to bring you European baseball action come September. Hoping to get a couple other practice test match here in the coming weeks as Almante Beroa is hit by a pitch. High fastball from Sigaras runs up and in, and it's a hit by pitch. And so we do get Rusty Huber to the plate, and this is where the coaches gets to decide, is this an important time to have Rusty? Yeah, you have a guy on base, you need 3 runs, but would you rather almost see Rusty on base, you know, in the top of the 9th with a fresh slate? I think it's quite obvious. However, I think you want to try to get anything you can when you're behind, and Rusty is the type of guy, as the outfielders do move back and into gaps a little bit more, that can do some damage here. Rusty, a first pitch swinger. Doesn't swing at that one. Takes a fastball. Low at the knees. Them not too happy about that. Some chirping from their dugouts. 1 strike to Rusty Hoover. And he laces one into the gap and right. Is it going to get down? It is not. Timon Van Hill. Glove on his right hand. If it's on his left, not sure he makes that catch. But he made it like he's made it a million times before. Maybe he has, maybe he hasn't. But he made it with all the confidence in the world, with a team that has confidence going into their bottom half of the 8th inning, up 3 runs, looking to add more. Borgerhout Squirrels allow the Cats to leave 1 man on base via the base on ball. Hit by pitch, excuse me. And thus, we head to the bottom half of the 8th inning. Rusty Huber should come back out on the mound. He needs a clean inning to give Merktem a chance in the 9th inning. Stay with us for Belgian Division I baseball in prep for Euro Baseball 2025.
Bottom of the 8th.
Coming up next.
That's Motto? Motto? Says there's a lot of wins.
Ja, dat is van mij. Ja, je bent van mijn ding begonnen, lijkt het mij. Ja, wat maar jij kan dus de foto zoeken. Ja, ik heb het je aan de telefoon. En niks met erop.
Pinch hitter Brian Otto will lead off for the Borgerhout Squirrels. And if I'm not mistaken, we're looking like we have another pinch hitter on deck for the Borgerhout Squirrels. Brian Otto having a good day yesterday at the plates. Six for 32 on the season is Otto. Guest appearance from Kenny Van de Brande, ex-Red Hawks pitcher. I'm hoping to coerce him to get on the mic with me during Euro Baseball 2025. 6 walks drawn and 7 strikeouts for Brian Otto this season, and that's 6 for 32. Mostly playing the outfield for the Borgerhout Squirrels. Gets ahead in the count here relatively early, does Otto. Second on stolen bases as well, so maybe that's the ploy. As the 3-1 count is now there for Otto. Thought the low pitch was there, and that ball 4 was going to be in effect. And maybe that's the idea that coach Yannick Gontier has for trying to plate in the 8th run of the game for Borgerhout, is to get him on base and test the arm of Aaron Merritt again, as a looping 64-mile-an-hour curveball comes in from Rusty Huber to bring the count full. So Otto working a good count here in his first at-bat of the game, fouls one back. Oh, that's a beautiful quality at-bat from Otto. Continuing to put the pressure on the Cats. And Huber is going to get him swinging. He called it a swing. the home plate umpire. The footwork very good on the outside part of the bag from Frank Prieto. Burgos. Aaron Mertz completes the strikeout with a 2-3. So a good at bat from Otto. Gets in the game, gets involved. But that'll bring Steph Romans to the plate, who's in fact not a pinch hitter and in the game. Romans has had a walk, 6-3 ground outs, 0 for 2 on the day. Batting 143 is Steph. Loves it here at Borgerhout. Hopes to get his bat going. That's one way not to do it. A 6-3 chopper. Rusty Huber settling in here, but is it too late for the Cats? That's the question. Sure, the Cat contingent thinks not, hopes not. Should hear some good noise in that dugout as they come back in, especially if he's able to retire number 9 and the 9 batter in the order for the Squirrels. That's Niels Imbert doing the catching again today. He's got a 212 average now after an 0 for 3 day, but as the catching position goes, and especially for a young guy, catching is a defensive position. It's a position where you got to do the job on the field defensively, and anything extra like that, a hit by pitch, is a bonus as a catcher, because anything you can add to the offense on the hitting side is obviously great. So a base on ball will not make for a clean inning for Rusty Hubert, unless of course we see the rare pickoff out. Imbert should be able to move. We'll see if they test the arm of Aaron Mert again. I'm assuming if that happens, Yannick Gontier, the manager of the Squirrels, will be doing that as the Sadelier gets a little deeper into the count, as he can tend to do. Strike 1 on a slider from Rusty Hubert, 73 miles an hour. Patient hitter, patient young hitter from Centre de Sadelier. 3 times F8, and there is the runner. Aaron Mertz did take a little bit longer. To get rid of it. Not sure what happened. And the dust settles with a safe call at second base. No caught stealings today here in Borgerhout. Now an RBI spot for the Sadelier, as there is some action in the bullpen down on the right side for the Borgerhout Squirrels. Looking to try to go up 8-4 here. It's 7-4. This one's at Almanto Boroa. Fields it cleanly and makes the out at first base. 4-3. Squirrels go away with making very minimal noise on a hit by pitch and a stolen base. 1 man left on base as we head to the luminous top of the 9th inning for the Merchtem Cats. Merchtem trying to find a way to increase what they have as far as the 5 hits are concerned. There are 6 errors scored by the scorers here at Borgerhout, Belgian locals, for the Merchtem Cats. They can't make any errors on offense, at least scored errors. Hopefully their base running is fine. Hopefully we see some good competitive baseball to finish up our afternoon here at Borgerhout Squirrels, where we will be hosting the 2025 Euro Baseball event D-Pool. Team Belgium, the Red Hawks. Can't wait for that, and we can't wait for the 9th inning coming next.
No. No. For that one, me too. 100% sure. Yes.
Nou, het is nog steeds zo dat je maar één wedstrijd mag starten met een buitenlander. Dat de man door een bel.
Pitchen, ja. Dat mag maar niet wedstrijd die pitch door de
Ja, dat is nog steeds zo. Is dat verschil groot geworden meer?
And the warm-up throws are completed for Matas Sigardas, who will begin his third inning of work. One's across the board for him, except for the strikeout column. 1 hit, 1 run, that's earned. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts so far. He's through 31 pitches, 18 of those being strikes. The official attendance today is 23. I said upward to 25. Okay. Again, Macri behind the plates, and Andrew Machado. There's Owen van Drugenbroek. Continues his hitting ways, and it's a base hit to the left side. 3 walks and 2 hits for Owen today. And that is exactly what the doctor ordered for the Maritime Cats, bringing up one of their other danger hitters here, who has not been dangerous today so far. 1 for 3, still boasting a 404 average, so 5 points down from where he started at the beginning of the day. He is a double play candidate though, which is just what Matas Sigardas and the Squirrels are looking for. From the Cats' perspective, they're looking for a ball in the outfield grass or a base on ball of some sort. A base runner and no outs, how about that? So how does that get started? With a strike and then a ball, and here we have a 1-1 count, an interesting one, an important one during the season here in Belgium in Division I competition. It's an inside fastball taken for a ball. Frank Alejandro Prieto Burgos, a couple of strikeouts today, and a hit and an RBI on a sac fly. Seeing curveball, fastball from Matas Sigardas today, looping curveball. Bit of a different arm action fastball from Sigardas compared to his teammates. Naoki Kamabara, who started through 6 innings, 4 hit ball, 2 earned, walked 7, struck out 8, lowered his ERA to 4. And Prieto goes down after the pitch before he thought was a ball. He was walking towards first base, and of course, sometimes the game punishes you, and comes back in and swings through a fastball for his 3rd strikeout of the day. Zach Olilla steps up to the plate, who has hit a double already today, takes a curveball for a strike. Zach Olilla 1 for 4 with also 3 strikeouts, so plenty of strikeouts for the Cats today. 12 and counting for the Cats. There's a foul ball straight back from Olilla. Meanwhile, scores around the league, 8-1. Top half of the 9th at Brascat. Rob DuBois is on the mound for Brascat now. It's 8-1 for Hoboken Pioneers. This fastball has some life to it at 78 up top. One of the harder ones thrown by Matas Sigardas today, but not effective on that pitch in particular. Did get some hand movement on a curveball there. No check. Didn't seem to be a pitch to check on, as Zach Olilla continues to work the count. And then neighbors just across the airport, Durham Spartans have extended their lead 18-4. And here's a fastball outside called. Cats not too happy about that call. And that completes 4 strikeouts for Olilla at the plate. So he had 1 on the mound as a pitcher, and he now has 4. So we're down to our final out here, potentially for the Maritime Cats, and it looks like it's going to be. This is a fly ball to Sander de Sadeleer, who gets behind it, and the handshakes can begin. A tough loss for the Maritime Cats. 2 on the weekend, pushing their season record to 5-7, just on the outside looking in on what will look like, and we don't write it off until it's finished, but over in the 9th inning, a 7-run lead, Brascat should drop to 5-7. And that pushes Borgerhout up into 3rd place at 8-4, behind what will be a 9-1 Durham Spartans and a 12-0 Hoboken Pioneers. The handshakes commence on the field here. A competitive game for most of it. But Nick Vantillo, 3-run home run. Switched the script and put Borgerhout Squirrels ahead, and they did not look back, adding a few more runs after that sprinkled in as the supporters are applauded as the competition for today comes to an end. Some scores around the league as we continue to wrap up and around what we have here in Belgian baseball and softball. Is over on the softball side. We have Beveren Lions, who took care of the Merchtem Cats on the girls' side 5-1 in the match that started at 1:30 p.m. 5-4, the final score there. So that match is finished. Hoboken Pioneers girls softball taking care of Brain Black Rickers 6-0. Mont Saint-Guibert Phoenix beating Antwerp Eagles 7-1. Beveren Lions are currently live in game 2 against the Merchtem Cats, and that score is in the 4th inning 5-4 as well. Hoboken Pioneers may be looking towards a mercy rule. The girls are up in the softball first division 16-3 as they look to move to an undefeated 10-0 record. Both teams, Division 1, Hoboken, softball ladies and baseball men, undefeated at this time. And the Mont Saint-Guibert Phoenix are leading 8-5 down in the southern part of the country in the 4th inning in game 2 of that doubleheader as well. Plenty of other scores we could talk to you about, but right now we're going to go take a break. We'll come back and we'll wrap up from Borgerhout here momentarily.
Ja. Dat is ook van jou. Ik moet dat ook hebben, dat spul. Martin moet dat maar kopen.
Ja, zo'n pokkendraad, die zou toch wel ergens hebben?
Ja, ja.
Should we try to get Yannick over here to talk about, I know it's one microphone, but should we get him to talk a little bit about Squirrels and or Martin?
How do I get into the door?
I can go.
Yeah, well, yeah, they need to come here anyway.
I know, but I would just go to the fence right here and wait till they're done speaking, and then we can sit there. And then I put the headset on him and I get close to him like I'm going to give him a kiss and I ask the questions.
Maybe you should say that already. I'm going to try to keep the people.
Okay, we're back, and right now we're trying to, well, we will be, because I know I'm persuasive enough, be getting one of the coaches from the victorious Borgerhout Squirrels over here in the booth. Whether that's Coach Martin Langsdal, first base and bench coach, or that's the manager, Yannick Gantier, we're going to let them decide on that. And that way they can talk to you a little bit about how excited Borgerhout Squirrels are to be hosting Euro Baseball 25 here in the D-Pool this September. So stay with us. Don't leave your seats. If you do, come right back. We're going to get them on the microphone, and we'll wrap up with them. See you shortly.
Okay, en wat is dat dongen? Wat heb ik dan dongen?
Maar
Ah, d'accord.
ik heb van die draadloze, hè, en ik heb ze niet meegenomen.
Gewoon wireless, hoef je maar in te prikken. Heb je gewoon meteen de aanhanger klaar. Hallo, hallo. Hallo?
Het geluid staat ook al op de camera.
Ja, dat snap ik, maar dan kan je het eraan zetten.
Maar die commissie, die kunt je ook kunnen nemen.
Ik weet niet of het hard genoeg zal zijn. Je zit erbij zetten.
Ik laat hem niet op staan.
Nee, snap ik. Maar hij komt gewoon daar zitten en dan zorg je dat...
So we're going to bring Nick Vantillo, and then we're going to bring Jan.
We're fixing you an interview booth here.
Perfect.
With visual.
With visual?
Yes. You're going to be famous. Infamous. Famous.
Love that.
Echt wel, ik ga hier praten en of ik laat het hier allemaal zitten. Ja, ik wil het dus verdienen.
Test. Test. Maar ik zou die uitzetten.
Die staat uit. Die staat uit.
Ja, maar doe hoeft die.
Ja, die mag ook af.
So you don't need the headphones for the interviews.
I do,
You don't. You're just gonna talk into that.
and it's gonna work.
Yeah.
So-
we think so. Yes.
Okay, well then we try it, right?
We're pretty sure it will work.
Nick is here. Nick. Great hits.
Thank you, thank you.
Just gonna wait for Arno. He's kind of the boss on the on doing that, and then we can get moving. We're live? Oh, perfect. So then we get to introduce everybody. So everybody, we have Nick Vantillo today. Nick, I think you really flipped the game on the head. The team was battling. The energy level was not maybe as high as possible, but then when you hit a bang like that and flip the script and flip the score, that's got to be a good feeling, no?
Yeah, that definitely feels good. That changed the game, and yeah, credit to the pitcher. They were busting me in all weekend, so I was just kind of looking there on the inside part, made a mistake, and went over the fence, put a good swing on it.
Yeah, it looked like a really good swing. I mean, from us back here, it looked like it was going out for sure. And I love that you went a little bit into your mentality with, thinking that they've been coming inside on you a lot and then they leave one a little bit more over the plate. Is that kind of been an approach that you have, or is it more of a week in and week out type of thing for you, that you made an adjustment? Obviously, with the experience that you have, you're able to make those adjustments, I'm very sure. But was that more of, have they been busting you in all year, or is that more of just a weekend adjustment that you already made?
This is more of like a pitcher-to-pitcher adjustment. Like every game is different and every pitcher is different, but in some moments you gotta have a feel for the game and kind of look ahead and think ahead. That's what I try to do at the plate. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
And you're doing a great job in developing some young players around the country based on your experience that you've had by playing in the States. Haven't seen you pitching too much. Is that something that is interesting for you, that you want to get back on the mound with if the team needs it at some point, or are you enjoying playing in the outfield?
I enjoy playing in the outfield. Actually, I can't get on the mound at the moment. I'm dealing with a forearm issue, so keeps hurting, so can't pitch if it hurts.
Yes, but you're doing a great job in center field, and I mean a home run and 4 RBIs. That's a great way to get the team going, especially with what your team goal is. And now, if I understand it, it's being in the top 4. How do you think that these last couple of results, last weekend against Mont-Saint-Hilaire, against this team in Cats that are right there below you guys, how does that set you guys up for what your goals are as a team moving forward?
Yeah, those are big games. They're tough games. You see every weekend we had a battle. We need everybody on the team. Yeah, it's a grind. There are a lot of good imports in the league, so yeah, got to be ready every weekend, and we are. And going forward, it feels good for us. We're kind of in a better spot now that we've gone 6 for 6 the last weeks. And yeah, we're looking at that third spot right now, and that's our goal, and we keep moving forward.
Well, you're right in that third spot right now, Nick, and that's got to be a great feeling. As long as the score ends up finishing in Brascott, you guys remain in that third spot, which is awesome. Congratulations for that. Continued good work to you, the team, what you're doing with youth guys in the country, and I hope we can talk again soon. Thank you for sitting down. I'm excited to hear from your coach what his feeling is about Squirrels and what Squirrels are going to be doing here with Euro Baseball. Will you be around? You're going to be around during the week.
Yeah,
during September.
Yeah, I hope so. I told Marquinhos, the coach, I'm available for the national team. They made some changes there where I had a different mentality about, but now I see the way they gonna structure the team is really well. There's a good preseason, good practices, so it's all organized very well. So that's excited to look forward to. There's a lot of good guys also in the league and in the Netherlands league, so competing for outfield spot. I hope I make it. So yeah, it's a fair chance for everybody. That's how they're doing it this year. So I hope they keep true to their word, and yeah, look forward to September.
Me too. Good luck for you personally and from a team basis. Thank you, Nick. Appreciate it. We'll be right back shortly with you for our interview with the man of the moment and the man of, well, what will be September, and that's Coach Yannick Gontier. And we'll not be right back. He's already here. Yannick, sorry. See you there. Thank you for joining. Yannick, the team put together a good game. Winning teams find a way to grind out games. Nick used the right word. How did you feel that the dugout was today? How did you feel that the atmosphere was when they did what you did in a smaller version yesterday, which is you guys put up 13 in the first 2 innings, but they went out to a 3-1 lead early. How did you feel the team's atmosphere was?
We have it difficult to be enthusiastic during the whole game, I feel. But the home run from Nick changed the mentality in the dugout. Sometimes the guys act like we're gonna win anyways. So that's something we need to work on with the whole team. But they understand how important it is to have the good mentality to win these games, because they're important games for us.
I said it on the broadcast over and over again, Yannick. I said, a lot of people watching, it's a beautiful game, and it's awesome that we're able to stream some Division I baseball into, which we'll talk about in a minute, Euro 2025, Euro Baseball 2025. But that's a really big couple of weekends and even a big game today with where the standings are.
Yep.
And you guys getting that done must feel really important for your coaching staff.
Yes. I gave them the task to win 8 on 8, so we're now 6 at 6. So if they do it next week and they win 2 more, then we're supposed to be. So yes, we're doing good. Coach Steph is happy about it. The team is happy. Everybody, even the guys who don't get a lot of playing time, are cheering for the boys. So yeah.
Good team spirit in there, then. That's that you can say.
Yeah.
Well, Yannick, I could talk to you all day about what you're doing, good things around just Borgerhout in general, but also your involvement with the youth and how you're doing that. And you hosted here an event a couple of weeks ago with the youth national teams, U15 and U12, and you were able to help with that. And all of these little events are preparing for the big one in September. So let's get to that. Euro Baseball 2025, here with the D pool, Belgium, 3 other countries. How are you feeling about it?
Oh, we're very excited to be the host of this pool in the European tournament. We're working hard to get everything done and prepared, because a lot of things need to happen. But I feel it's going to be a good tournament, and let's hope the Belgian guys can get that first spot.
It's a step in the right direction. And you have to correct me if I'm wrong, but I know the first was that they had their first team practice outdoor here last week. Did this go well?
Yes, I saw a lot of guys present at practice. The guys love the field here. So yeah, I think they're excited to come and play here.
Yeah, I would hope to be. I mean, playing for your country is something that's you should never take for granted, right? So when you're wearing the flag on your uniform, on your hat, that's things that's absolutely you should be very proud to do, and especially be able to do that in your home country. Credit to you with Borgerhout being able to host that event and to do it. And so what does a successful event for you look like when we have that? Other than the Red Hawks having some success, what does that look like for your club?
For the club, it's gonna be if everything runs smooth. Of course, that's important, but also if you get some crowd in the stands, and also new people.
Yeah.
If you can have a lot of new people, people who are involved in the baseball world right now, let them meet baseball at the highest level, and hopefully it catches on and clubs get new members out of it.
Yeah, that's why I really like working with you guys at Borgerhout and being around here whenever I can, is I think that's the right mentality for our sport where we're at in Belgium. And it's very, very important that we continue to find a way having that mentality and working together. And I think whether you have kids from the southern part of the country coming up to watch, the east, the west, the north, whatever it is, that's a positive thing for Belgian baseball.
As much as possible. It's going to be a good atmosphere, I think. And if you can have some press here, so we can have news coverage and new people discovering this beautiful sport, then every club in Belgium can benefit from it.
And we're going to do our best on the booth side here to try to make sure that you get some great calls, some great moments, some good replays, things like that we can drive not only for the WBSC but also for Belgian baseball and the Squirrels, to be able to drive a little bit of the traffic in the right direction for that. My final question for you is, again, I back from Borgerhout coach to your role as being the host here, is kind of mixing the two. Your players that are, and of course you have Coach Martin Langsal, who's a part of Belgian Federation, doing that and involved with that, so his place will be there and involved. Same for Coach Tim Verachtert. He's going to be involved at first base. How are you feeling about your players with Squirrels, with their motivation level and how they're trying to perform to make the team?
I love it. Guys like Sam Boermans, he actually quit the national team last year, the year before. He was done playing. But with the new coaching staff, the fact that they're gonna play here, they decided to try to get back in the team. So I'm looking forward to seeing the guys play in the Red Hawks uniform at our own field.
Yeah, and that's got to be a top feeling as a coach and a guy who's so integrated into everything that you do here at Borgerhout. So I wish you guys the ultimate success. I hope that Arno and Joran and myself will be able to come back up and have a couple of more games before we get started. Still plenty of things to perfect from our side. But as always, the most amicable hosts that we can have here at Borgerhout. Thank you very much, and good success going for eight of eight next week with your club team. Thank you very much, Yannick.
Thank you
for
the broadcasting.
Very welcome. Happy to be here. Thank you. Yes, we'll see you next time. Enjoy the rest of your evening.
Thank you.
Thank you. For us here with myself is Jamie Flynn with Arno Verbeeken and Joran from the WBSC. Thank you guys for being a part of our broadcast today. I feel like we got a 7 out of 10 going there. We're going to get a 10 out of 10 as we get closer to all of our games here for Belgian baseball and for the WBSC with Euro Baseball 2025. Please make sure you stay alert on all socials surrounding Belgian baseball. And what we do is we try to bring more working games to you, more practice games for myself, for our staff, and for everybody here involved at Borgerhout. Thank you guys for being on board with us. Enjoy the rest of your Sundays and get ready for another beautiful week of Belgian baseball next week. We'll see you next time. I'm Jamie Flynn signing off.